What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us today. Yet another edition of Throwback Thursday. Jeff, I know you've been enjoying the content as much as I've been enjoying digging through and putting it all up and together.
I'm not gonna lie. I was trepidatious watching this, especially my stuff. I hate watching my stuff, you know that. But it's been interesting to go back and watch it because, as I said, I become less of a dick as the shows go on Talk Wrestling, which is thank God I did because the first show was so bad. But man, you have been like reaching into the vault, man. I almost feel like I want to grab Mickey Mouse on SNL. I'm like, no, protect the content. They didn't sell. So man, such good stuff to watch, and today is no exception, sir.
Yes, thank you once again to Aaron Rift of the NoDQ YouTube channel, James Hebert of the JH95/FTW Productions, Noel Foster from the Simple Man brand, and of course, you, good sir,
Yes.
for the Jeff Meacham Network, for allowing me access to all the content that was previously discussed in private
Yes.
amongst all of you guys, because there are limitations about what can and can't be posted. But
yeah, unfortunately.
Especially a big thank you once again to Aaron Rift for allowing me access to the NoDQ stuff. That stuff has really helped make the process and the Throwback Thursdays succeed and thrive, I think.
Absolutely.
Sit back, relax, everybody, enjoy as we bring to you yet another week of Throwback Thursday content.
Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from A Simple Man's Brand.
Oh, good Lord Almighty. I can't believe we're actually doing this after such a period of time. What started as a vision became a movement and grew into a revolution. What started with us in conversation became a platform and a podcast presentation. And now we bring it back right before the fourth AEW revolution. And I feel there's going to be a lot of discussion and conversation as we look at all things wrestling, particularly All Elite Wrestling, and so much more to come too. So once again, here we go. So, hello once again, everybody. Whoever watches this on live or on demand, you know what this is. And if you don't, I am the simple man of what's now being called the Simple Brand. And my name is Noel Foster. With me, of course, is my All Elite fam since day one, day zero, and beyond. I'm happy to once again be back with my crew. We are ATW. Shout out to the whole ATW family, including but not limited to, say, Preacher Man, Casey Flynn. Of course, our wrestler, Amara Jade. We also, of course, have the party guy, JD. We got our Oos, of course, Indigo. We got our own podcaster, reporter, who's going to be enjoying the experience live, still is right now, in Cindy G, Sienna Chanel. Our enforcer, Lex, who's doing a lot of great things. And everybody else, again, I would be here all night talking about the lexicon of ATW. So if I don't talk about you, you definitely, of course, be down in the description below. But respect and God bless all of you. But that being said, Eric, been a while. You're looking good, my friend. I expect you to be a bringer of all sorts of things, news and chaos, as you love to do. But how are you?
Good. And let's kick this right off the rails. Apparently, Kenny Omega and the Elite finally apologized backstage.
Yes.
It only took them dadgum freaking 7 months. But if you're going to start things with the Elite, then I don't need to say anything else when it comes to this guy down here who truly has been with the Elite since episode 1 of BTE. Always a pleasure to be with my brother, the King. King A-Train, Anthony. Here we are once again. To think, we had a fun little impromptu out of nowhere, just the two of us. And now that has been increased by a power of 2 with 4 of us. But how are you, my friend?
Well, other than the inconvenience of my phone being, a piece of what within the past couple of days, I'm doing a lot better than I was a couple of days ago.
I can feel because you got a new phone. That's what it is, isn't it? I know that feeling, brother.
Exactly, brother.
About to say, if there's anybody here that could, I love these subchannels that I can do that you all just pretty much bring me towards to. If there's anybody that can talk about technologies and the woes, particularly with iPhones, it's this guy right here. He's different, and we love him and appreciate him for that. And he is definitely, in his own way, a creative genius. James Hebert of FTW Productions and Weymouth Youth Wrestling, and of course, my color cohort and commentary personnel for AEW and Impact across the championship Multiverse media, which of course we'll be discussing, presenting, and reacting to this Sunday, AEW. But for now, James, how are you? This is the 3rd time I've seen you today.
I'm doing pretty good, brother. I'm doing pretty good. We've done 3 live streams across 3 channels today. It's been a busy one.
I'm surprised you haven't cracked.
I'm surprised too. We've gotten close, but not quite there yet.
Surprising I have a voice is another thing, but come WrestleMania week, everyone read last rights for me because I'll probably be doing the video each night.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's going to be a thing, isn't it?
Well, considering you got Impact, you got NJPW, you got Ring of Honor, you got AEW, you got WWE.
And New Japan.
Yep.
You got Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, Makota Ibushi, Speedball, Mike Bailey, which again, King, we are somehow reacting to that. One way
Yes,
or
we
another.
are, no doubt.
One way or freaking another, I'm ordering that shit. But I digress. Of course, that's to come too. But again, it's the wildest week of professional wrestling every year. There's a reason why we call ourselves ATW. Because we look at all things wrestling. That's going to be our testimony to our namesake. But of course, that's later. But again, good to see you. Good to see all of you. So without further ado, budget. Let's just go right into it. Again, the ATW View Impromptu is a free-form conversation on all things wrestling with a particular primary topic. Of course, our topic this time is AEW, and that is AEW Revolution. But of course, it's not the only thing that's been happening or what's top on the wrestling industry. For as we know,
let's get this show right off and off the rails.
I fear that he was going to freaking take the wheel. So again, it's what I try and do to keep order. But I know that it never maintains itself.
Yeah, if it's not
he's
me,
been waiting to do this for a while.
James.
Yeah.
Again, it's either you or James that caused this thing to go off the rails. And next thing you know, we freaking break out worse than a freaking Toyano match reaction. But
why did you have to bring that up? But
because
let's
that
continue.
damn dude's gonna freaking wreck something this month. I know it.
Yeah, I know it too. Me and you in the same boat on that as always.
Yeah, well, what else is new, right?
Okay, guys.
All right, Eric, go ahead and start this thing off. Give us a story or a headline.
Okay, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks reportedly apologized for the all-out brawl-out fiasco. Much rejoicing. And Kenny Omega has publicly come out basically admitting he's mellowed out and he's hoping everyone's doing all right. So let's hope something works out from that.
Sounds like he's being the bigger man here, which, again, a lot of people can take a lesson from.
Yes. The other thing I also want to point out is, for those who don't know, while they weren't in the same proximity with each other, they were at Mercedes Moné's first debut match, where she won the IWGP Women's World Championship. Both were there in support of her. So, if anything, I think if FTR and Omega and Punk were all there to support her, chances are I think everybody's good, guys. I think it's okay.
Or at least mellowed out. It's like, okay, look, we don't have to like each other, but we can be Matt and Edge for at least a good few months.
I mean, again, there's money to be made. You're burning money. You're costing the business. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting the industry. It's a domino effect. I think Kenny Omega put it down clearly on the sessions. Go ahead.
Something happened after Kenny Omega's fabulous statement.
Go right ahead.
Sure, you're going to talk about the
here we
viral
go.
diseases,
Go
but
ahead.
I'm just going to say this real quick before he does his retort, because I know how his mind works. There was a simple tweet, some would say, but it was not found too sweet. when you look at a way somebody handles their mentality and you try and define a certain capacity to basically go about it, there is no single right way. Everyone has their own way. It is those that choose a way that are the stronger and the better individual. Let us not judge. Let us not belittle. Let us support one another. And let us be above assumption.
Yes.
For a tweet is just text. It is not actual fact.
True.
It does not convey a true meaning. It does not tell the whole story or all emotion. Respect one another. Show kindness. Mental health is not a stigma. It is something everybody deals with in general. It's a capacity.
Lacey Evans doesn't get that.
Unfortunately, not all people get that, but it is a capacity that everybody deals with in some way or fashion. Shout out to Allie, the bunny, who basically said, simply put, if you are struggling, seek the help, seek the support, find a way to take care of yourself without causing yourself harm.
Yep.
Before something happens that can't be undone. R.I.P. Hana Kimura. And that's all I gotta say for now on this simple statement. Thank you.
Yep.
Now continue.
So after Kenny Omega's coming out and saying, I hope everyone's melled. I hope everyone on the other side is doing well. We're basically melled out at this point. No, I need you to make a co-host for this little segment I just thought of.
Go ahead.
Really? All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
go for it. You are co-host
Okay,
right now.
so this is going to be an interesting segment. It's basically what happened after Kenny Omega's statement.
Let's see what you got going here.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
That's about right.
Oh man,
That's what happened.
I
after that.
appreciate that meme. I appreciate the.
There are some memes that actually tell a lot in context. That is one of them.
Well,
guess what happened afterwards?
Go right ahead, please.
Right after Kenny Omega's statement and everything about the whole fiasco, someone decided to spread innuendo and rumors by saying CM Punk screwed Hangman out of the title. He politicked him out of the title picture, and then said a whole bunch of nonsense about it. And then Dave Meltzer, because he learned what happened last time, he didn't address things out before it actually escalated, came out and said, no, that's not true. Tony Khan had always planned to give Punk the title months ago.
It's
months
all
in
part of the
advance.
plan, just like WrestleMania was at WrestleMania 30.
For the record, the only reason Dave is saying this now, though, and by the way, I believe him, by the way, because it's obvious, but the only reason Meltzer is even coming to the defense of Punk in that regard at all is because if he doesn't now, nobody's taking him seriously. And he's already pissed a lot of people off, and rightfully fucking so, by the way, with his absolute bias.
Yep. Yes.
He
I
is.
mean, to be fair, Dave Meltzer is
bad.
a guy that Dave Meltzer's a guy that Jay just summed up perfectly. He's a guy that's a fan that makes his opinion look like fact, and people feed into that.
Yes. And that's
Yes.
and I think Bischoff, out of all people, actually, believe it or not, said it best too, because like he eviscerated Dave on his podcast.
Boy, did he! Jeez.
He destroyed him, and
He really did.
And listen, I don't hate Dave like Bischoff does. But I can understand where Bischoff's coming from. I can understand where Punk is coming from, especially with what you... If you align what Punk said at All Out against the dirt sheets, and then they take it so fucking personally that they go on basically smear campaigns on the fucking guy.
Clickbait.
Like, seriously, and listen, I'm not saying what Punk did was right at all. Everybody in this room agrees that what Punk did at that time was wrong place, fucking wrong time energy. We understand that. We accept that. We get that. The thing that I have an issue with the Observer and a lot of these fucking dirt sheets, to be fucking honest here, is nobody's being objective at all. It's either you're on one side of the fence or you're on the other side of the fence, yet you're trying to make it as if, oh, this is just how the situation, and you're trying to present it as fact. Bro, I cannot begin to tell you how many times I would listen to Brian fucking Alvarez, of all people, go on goddamn podcasting, alright, on his live shows on F4W Online on YouTube, right? And he'd just eviscerate Punk and find any way to wish Punk returning to be out of the fucking question. Meanwhile, you got guys like Kenny Omega who's like, I don't give a fuck if he comes back or not. And you have Chris Jericho immediately on Twitter dispelling a fucking rumor that he never fucking liked the guy, saying, tweeting a picture of him working with Punk, saying, I always love working with Punk. That's what I have a problem with. And this is why JJ has taken the right fucking approach. And by the way, a lot of other fucking people have followed suit in our circle, by the way, since. I don't like that it just comes down to one person. It's just a one-person thing. No, there's blame to go on all sides, but it could also be reconciled on all sides. And it doesn't have to be a black or white thing, which is what these dirt sheets are trying to make it out to be. Nobody in their right fucking mind, when all that crap happened, right? And everybody said, fuck it, and we stopped this show for months, wanted it to be an all or none thing, one side or the other. Nobody wanted that. Nobody did. Alright? Meltzer did. Alvarez did. On the other side, Cornette did. Brian Last did. That's
all
not
the tribalists did.
All the tribalists did. That's not fucking helping anybody.
To be fair, tribalists hasn't helped anything since their existence.
Exactly.
And tribalism is still ruined in the community today as we speak.
Now, it has significantly weighed down, by the way, especially recently, because people are sick of it. We're sick of it. I've been saying for years, myself, I'm too fucking old for this shit, man. Seriously, I'm about to turn 28 in September, and I feel like I've aged. I was aging back then because of all this garbage that was being online. And now it's like
I just encourage y'all, protect your mentality. There's a reason I don't have notifications and I don't scroll and I don't have anything.
Right. Now,
or read anything.
With all this said, God bless Dax Harwood. Seriously, can we get like a round of applause for Dax Harwood for being able to like reconcile everybody? Little applause there. Fucking seriously.
Also,
man.
James, this is just my opinion, but I also think Vince coming back also kind of made people like, oh no,
yeah, we need to get our head out of our ass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you realize that guy breaks the actual mental metric of what you thought tribalism truly stood for, you know you got a realization.
Okay, let me just go and say this. When Vince McMahon left, and then when he came back, I was like, okay, so when Vince left, I was like, okay, let's hope everything goes smoothly. Not really, it's not going to go smoothly, but let's hope something goes smoothly. Then WWE started making their own AEW style shots at Vince, and then everything went off the reservations. Because
pretty much.
Because then the tribalists split. Yeah. The WWE tribalists split. The Vince McMahon tribalists who think Vince was a victim in everything that he did, because that's a thing in 2023. And they started a full-blown civil war and ranting on Twitter and making up lies and slander and all that. And I'm just like, I'm going to be sad when I say that I totally saw this coming. Yeah. Like the moment Vince was gone, I knew one of two things would happen. Either A, the tribalists would finally admit, yes, he overstayed his welcome and we're glad he's gone, or they shatter their own fictional loyalty to WWE and pledge loyalty to the billionaire who doesn't care about anybody.
Yeah, which by the way, it's hilarious too, because they were praising him coming back, and on all actuality, the people that were worried and the people that were also like praising him realized, oh no, he's not back. He's just there to facilitate a sale. So,
Which makes sense because no matter what, you can't argue that the man is 110% business more than anything else.
and
But
and
when
he's
you-
also built the company over 40 years, so you might as well give him that courtesy somewhat.
Go ahead,
But
King.
it's like when you also, but what is also when you think about it is he really didn't facilitate a sell, because I heard reports from WrestleVotes a couple of days ago that he pitched Omos and Brock Lesnar to push it to happen at WrestleMania, and look, here we are. It's officially happening.
Let's go chamber winner. That makes perfect sense. But now, yeah, go ahead and talk about. Yeah, go ahead and talk about the latest match added and your thoughts on who truly is creatively guiding and shaping WrestleMania. King, the floor is yours. Lead this thing.
Okay, so when I first heard that Brock Lesnar and Omos was a thing, I was like, y'all going to tell me that Triple H led that, right? Because that's no way a Triple H idea. Because
No.
the way I've seen on Twitter, Omos has been heavily featured as of late under the Triple H creative regime. And like, that was not happening before when Triple H took over as creative in that regime.
Mm-hmm.
That was a Vince McMahon thing. But now you're starting to see heavily more Omos as usual, and we're like, there's no, like, you're just like thinking to yourself, there's no way that's a Triple H thing. And then here comes WrestleVotes putting out a tweet saying, there's one source that says they've been pushing for this Brock Lesnar and Omos match to be happening at WrestleMania, and they tweeted out the gif of Vince McMahon putting on some shades. And I was like, I automatically knew it was a Vince thing.
There's a couple things to add to your point. I'll actually add to your point, King. Also, I don't think it's necessarily the fact that Vince is back in a creative capacity per se. I think it's the opposite. What I think is happening is Brock's been kind of known to be a prima donna, and if he does not get his way, he'll kind of have a fucking hissy fit.
Disagreement.
Right. Yeah, with the Royal Rumble Elimination Chamber when he went off script. But,
so I think he was using his leverage and his friendship with Vince, because there is something there, whatever that friendship is. I don't even want to know.
Vince was the reason Brock came back when Vince left.
Right. So
it's called a wallet.
Yeah. You know. So
but there were also potential opponents. You know, I think there was a few names for what I've learned to report. There was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Stone Cold passed it. He actually wanted that match to happen. Gunther.
Which is my first thought.
Which they immediately shot that down before it even got started.
They were going to do Lashley, but I think they moved that to the chamber just because.
Guys, I do have an update on that. I do have an actual update on that.
Go ahead.
Let's go ahead and let the Inquirer interject, and then we'll throw it back to the King for his retort. Go ahead, Eric.
The original plan heading into Elimination Chamber was Brock Lesnar defeats Bobby Lashley, Bray Wyatt fights Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I was all excited for that idea, and then Brock Lesnar reportedly was like, yeah, no. I'll personally approve Omos, but F Bray Wyatt.
Yep.
Okay, so it was a Lesnar decision ultimately, unfortunately. Then
it was said by Fightful. If I read it correctly, Fightful said that Brock Lesnar personally approved it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, you would have preferred Omos to Bray Wyatt.
Well, this is the reason. Here's the reason I think, and I'm not against the long-term aspect of it. I think Triple H can make it work anyway because he's been doing this thing where he MVP is trying to reunite the Hurt Business anyway with Omos involved in the group also.
Right.
So I'm not against it. You couldn't have done just Bobby versus Brock rematch.
I would have been okay with Brock versus Gunther because, like Noah touched on, I was hoping that was going to be the match announcement.
Yeah.
You saw the tease at the Royal Rumble. Those two men went face off, and Gunther hit Brock with a chop that did nothing, and then they just teed off on each other.
Well, I knew they probably weren't going to do that because Brock is who he is, let's be honest. He's not going to go for a secondary championship. He just never will. As much as we would like a Walter or
he's never been a secondary champion. He's
always been main champion, always.
Yeah, so
yet Bobby Lashley has been secondary champion.
Right, Bobby Lashley has been, but that's the thing. So I think the reason, the way I would have booked it, I understand why they're booking it. It's one match that I'm not really looking forward to, one that I'm kind of somewhat intrigued by. The matches I would have booked would have been Bray Wyatt. Instead of facing Bobby Lashley, he would have fought in Karrion Kross. That would have been the match in the feud program I would start building up. Just because it made
just the idea of that match, I was like, imagine if they had both big entrances.
Yes.
And we get Fall and Pray versus Let Me In.
That's my point. Yes. And it could start.
You could psychologically built that on SmackDown because it wasn't like there was any tease of that whatsoever at the Royal Rumble.
And you could you could go a couple different ways with it after Mania too. You could either go Bray Wyatt and Karrion Kross join forces after the fact, along with Little Miss Bliss and Scarlett Bordeaux as the tag team, which wouldn't be necessarily a bad idea.
Bliss is taking a mental break as far as I know.
So mental break as of right now. Right. But I think that's to further the storyline anyway. It kind of fits with the whole motif they're telling with her. Or, and this is the other thing, you could have Karrion Kross join up with the Judgment Day, and then Judgment Day adds, Little Miss Bliss to their ranks. He leads Judgment Day going forward, because I think Karrion Kross would be, a more legit leader for that faction than anybody else, and he can feud on with the Judgment Day.
James, does Karrion Kross need to be a leader of a faction, though, honestly?
I think otherwise, what are you doing with him? You have all this elaborate entrance with him. You have him and Scarlett. You have all this money invested bringing him back. Why not? That's my thing. I would have him be the top guy of the faction and have him in a feud with Bray for a little bit until it's done, and give the Judgment Day a new, a new lease on life per se. And then, plus you'll have a women's tag division at that point that actually has a team in Rhea and Scarlett. And then if you want to throw Liv in there too, go for it as well, because she's going on her own little crazy streak. So, you could have.
I feel like James just wants all the craziness underneath one regime for some reason.
That works in a long-term sense, and then again,
Suicide Squad whip-off?
Probably. But then I also wanted to have the blow-off, the official proper blow-off between Bobby and Brock, because they never got a clean win. Like, it should be last man standing or an I quit or something like that. Like, they should have had that match at Mania. And I feel
I was booking the past of Brock Lesnar. You think about OVW opening class. You think about the one time he and Shelton Benjamin were in that Royal Rumble when Brock was champion, and they had a short little scuffle, and then Brock eliminated him. Why not give a guy that you have nothing for something, considering the history he has with Brock Lesnar, and, protect Omos? Because here's the thing. Hi, Jeff Meacham. A happy late birthday, by the way. Here's the thing. Omos and Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel. Was that really anything spectacular? Was it just Omos doing big movement things, and then Braun Strowman with one power slam finally got him up for the win? Was that really anything special?
Yeah.
Omos is not a star single attraction. So how do you protect him? With a buffer. So the Hurt Business idea, I do understand. If Shelton Benjamin is part of that, Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar mostly working a match together against each other. Why Omos does big men things better than Parker? I mean, that's definitely something that I probably would have booked in my WrestleMania, for example. What's up, JJ? Follow Casa D18 Studios, folks, and stay tuned for Open Mic Night Live Saturday night. 11 p.m. Standard Time. Appreciate you, brother. Like, subscribe, comment, tell friends, give it a like. But here's another thing. We talk about creative disagreements. You talked about the women's tag division. I could have sworn that they were setting up Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler to be the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And it looks like that fell through the cracks because Lita and Becky are the new women's tag champs.
And for what I've seen though as well, Lita is not looking great in the ring. So I've been told, and I've seen clips.
I think it was a lot
match, by the way. For trying, but let's not forget
she's been out of the game for ages.
Yeah, she almost broke her damn neck for one point piece sake. Her last big match was against Becky Lynch at Country Redacted for the Free
Elimination
Rollins
Chamber.
Championship. I thought she was done after that.
To be fair, I'm not necessarily against the team. The idea that they can't win.
Me neither, but still.
Yes, it's another makeshift team, but at least the team makes sense.
Actually, here's the thing: if you were going to do this match, if you're going to do that, wouldn't it have made more sense to just have Trish Stratus and Becky and Lita be the team?
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
James, what did I book? Generational Frenemies Tag Team Warfare WrestleMania: Becky and Bayley versus Trish and Lita.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
And you could have done that, and then if you really wanted to throw the monkey wrench in, this is my idea. Honestly, I was thinking.
Not that it matters anymore.
Not that it matters, but honestly, you could do it a few different ways. You could either do, the Damage Control with Becky Lynch joining and turning heel,
Oh, God.
and it could either be Becky and Bayley versus Trish Stratus and Lita versus Ronda and Shayna, or you could also have the original 2 tag team members of Damage Control. But either way, you would have Damage Control versus Lita and Trish versus what I like to call Seek and Destroy and Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey.
I still think it's a crime that Shayna Baszler has yet to have gold on the main roster. Just saying. I'm just going to put that out there.
There was once upon a time. I mean, remember the pandemic days? Anybody when Shayna almost won the Raw Women's Championship around that time?
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, screw that.
Underneath WWE's largest fan. Anyway,
yeah.
I can't believe they made that into a shirt. But yeah, it just feels like to me that WWE right now has no clear direction. And JJ here saying Lita's almost 50. She still looks damn good. Plus WWE owes her after having Crime Time do the. Oh Jesus! Yeah,
the wholesale.
I remember.
I know what you're talking about. I would also say they owe her for the Edge event where Vince forced her to do that. Under threat of termination.
Well,
because Vince is a sicko. Even when Edge and Cena were like, "That's a stupid idea, man." They broke up. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, it didn't matter. Whatever Vince wanted, he got. Anyway, I'm not here to rant on Vince today, but the point being,
we're talking about creative disagreements right now that is shaping WrestleMania that still feels like it's nowhere near true full form.
Yeah. But real quick, so
go ahead.
My whole thing is we got Lita and Becky are the tag champs now.
With Trish.
But I think it should have been with Trish. But if they couldn't get Trish for whatever reason. And apparently there was a creative disagreement, but this is right. This is the thing, and I'm gonna put this in perspective. I damn sure don't think it's a Vince call. I think her creative disagreement is with Triple H, and his fucking track record is living proof of that. If there's one weakness in Triple H's game booking everything for Mania lately, other than this Omos stuff, but we already covered that.
Right.
It's this fucking women's tag division. It is. The team at least makes sense. There's finally a team that makes sense to be together. If you really think about it, one's a punk rocker from the old generation turned wrestler, and the other one, same thing. You kind of got, a little punk rock express type deal going on. Steampunk, classic punk type of thing.
Yeah, I get
that. We got that rocker element with these chicks, right? So that, all right, cool, fine, I'll take it. There's something different. Now what, though? Now
exactly.
what? And why do it here and not do the title change at fucking Mania?
Because at this point, James, the key words here is WrestleMania. And what do you do at WrestleMania? You showcase the biggest names because of money appeal. It's going to be a 6-woman tag.
Yeah, but you're going to showcase hold on. You're going to showcase the biggest name in that regard anyway, because Lita, if she's the biggest name, wouldn't have mattered if she was the champion going in or not, because she's still the biggest name in that match.
I still feel like the title change was a last-minute call during the show because I did not see it coming. I saw the qualification.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. But I also been hearing rumors. I have no confirmation on that. But now they're saying that we might do Trish Stratus versus Bailey. Which, okay, fine, I'll be all for that.
Yeah, I mean,
that I'm cool with, honestly.
If that means that the tag titles are actually
part of me was thinking to myself, oh god, imagine if they did Lita and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control, and they make a subtle, somewhat gesture to the boss because it's like, oh, you missed out on this.
Oh, wait a minute.
Best friends with her, and
hang on.
JJ agrees with me. 6-woman tag.
Yeah, I just saw that comment. That actually is not that's not a bad shout, JJ.
I told you all, again, why else would Trish be back with her best friend in a non-title capacity to even the numbers against a faction of 3, where at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if one member breaks up after WrestleMania.
Honestly, yeah, King, what do you think about that, honestly? What do you think about the prospect of Becky Lynch teaming with Trish and Lita versus Damage Control?
At this rate, here's a question I'm going to throw out to you guys.
Go ahead.
Like, when it comes to momentum with Damage Control, what are the chances of Damage Control breaking up at the WrestleMania? Because the way they've been booked since SummerSlam, like they was off to a hot start last year, and then all of a sudden it just came crashing down.
Particularly for Bayley, let's be honest here. Bayley had 2 chances at the title, and she couldn't get the title. While she helped her friends regain the title, which they lost at some point.
And then they hot potatoed it.
Yeah,
exactly. So, what are the chances that basically Damage Control breaks up after WrestleMania?
I've been saying for the longest time, and this is nothing on Casey's, and this just goes to show that Casey, he sees the star in the group. I've been saying for the longest time Dakota Kai's going to be the breakout one. Like I said, Bayley didn't need the title. Bayley's already done everything possible. But it would be nice to have Bayley actually booked for WrestleMania, because she hasn't had a WrestleMania match, I think, in 2 or 3 daggum years. Keep that in mind. She was like a guest appearance at 37
WrestleMania
and got blasted out by the Bellas and Titus O'Neil. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying, y'all remember that partnership thing? I'm just saying.
I would rather forget and avoid the aneurysm.
I would rather not reminisce on that.
But anyway, yeah, to me, it just feels like Io Sky. She's an established name from Japan, Genius of the Sky. And Dakota Kai, she's one of the ones I feel that has the most potential to break on her own. She was trying to do that in NXT, and then she got pushed up to the roster with Io Sky. Triple H has been trying, like you said, for the longest time to try and breathe life into a non-existent or stable women's tag team division. What's the definition of insanity here, folks? Repeating the same thing over and over and over again until you, because you expect to change.
Though, to be fair on Triple H's part, he at least had some precedent where he was like, "Oh, I'll take 205 Live and make it an awesome show," and then Vince killed it again.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my thing, right?
Go ahead.
With this women's tag division, this is the proof in the pudding here. It can't be done. It is impossible. We have seen them try it. They cannot do it.
Yes.
It is. They just don't have the capability to do it. The best women's booked division, period, bar none in this country, is Impact. Because you want to know why that's the case? Because while Scott D'Amore and other people are booking, primarily men, by the way, are booking the men's division,
Melina,
Gail Kim and Melina are booking the women's. That's the difference there. There is women booking women's wrestling on that program. And that's why it is the best. And that's why it has focus. And that's why there are legitimate teams on Impact. That's why there are that's why there's more legitimate programs in general and more storyline cohesion when it comes to the women's division in Impact. Now, granted, they have good intentions, and they usually do pretty decent when it comes to the main events, somewhat. But other than that, the whole picture is not being painted because you're missing the one key thing that's been plaguing the company since they started these damn things, and that's the tag team championships. You know,
and let's be real. NXT Women's Tag Team Division was like, no, you can't do that. You already cut it. It's already dead enough. You just need to kill it more.
And that's why Jada's like, they broke the best up-and-coming women's tag team that they had, Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, for no good fucking
WWE
reason,
is not
by the
an
way.
ecosystem for tag team wrestling, especially women's tag team wrestling. It's a sad fact.
And I'll still say this. I get this was from before. I have the strongest feeling Triple H did want to introduce a mid-card women's title, their own intercontinental version of the women's title.
Right.
But Vince was like, no, you got to make it a tag team title because I don't want you doing better than me already.
Oh, then we're talking about 2017.
Yeah,
and they're splitting up the tag team NXT women's title. Yeah. And I'm still like, everyone was all for the mid-card title. I mean, like, and here's the thing. We're going to circle this back a little bit to AEW for a sec. Like, okay, their women's division is they have all the talent right there. They just don't have the commitment. And Tony Khan even came out and publicly admitted this recently in his conference call. The trademark All Elite Women, that was actually planned for a show. He still wants to get it off the ground.
Well, at least he's ambitious and wants to do that. And at the end of the day, if you're trying to do more,
I have one problem with it. I have a major problem with it though. It's like, okay, I get that. I get you want to showcase these women more, and because apparently doing that on your main shows completely suck for you in your eyes.
Not enough, anyway.
Here's the thing, Tony. Try and think about this for more than 5 seconds. Like, okay, I get you want the women promoted. Okay, how about you stick to AEW Dynamite instead of sticking to AEW Dynamite, AEW Dark Elevation, Ring of Honor, Rampage, and hire anyone to handle the women's side? How about, okay, here's a radical idea. She's close to retiring. Contact Mickie James.
I mean, I feel like if Mickie James didn't succeed in her last rodeo, you very well could have had her as your leader of women's professional development for that division. She tried doing that with the NWA,
and that remember, Tony Khan has stretched himself incredibly thin. Like, he has 6 different shows. Now it's like, okay. And here's the thing. I also think it's partially on the Acclaim's part why Tony Khan stretched himself thin, because of that mental health promo they cut. And Tony Khan said I would take over the editing duties of that. And I was like, you could have just watched the footage before the episode aired and cut it out instead of being ignored, blissfully unaware.
Or that,
Tony Schiavone can only do so much. Let's just be honest.
Or that, or he could have just gave it to somebody that could have done it as well.
Delegation is key for professional development, especially in the wrestling industry. The sooner Tony Khan realizes that, and to be fair, he has learned that over time, and it has definitely helped shape the ecosystem a little more, but there still is room for improvement, especially on the women's side of things. It's not pigeonholed in the same TV spot, but he still needs to bring more showcasing. I put it like this. It's TV. I get it, okay? You have a 2-hour thing, all right? You could definitely do another women's match or a women's promo. In the Ring of Honor kickoff, in the new era of Honor, there were 2 women's tag matches. We had Will Niga versus Lady Frost and a great women's tag. You had a setup for a women's title match this coming week with Athena versus Little Nightingale, and they further talked about inclusion of a developing women's division, including involvement by the likes of Queen Maria Kanellis. You talk about Impact Wrestling, we talk about the tag scenes, you're still looking for the Dark Dolls theme, who just had a great match against the Hex and WA Women's World Tag Team Champions. I bet you it won't be a one-off for them. And spoiler alert, because I was connected by this, shout out to the Mud Effing King, Kylan King. She's tagging alongside Turtle Wild. They're called the Kevin.
Right.
Yes.
See, by the way, JJ also said in the comments, I'll just read this quick. All Elite Women would have been a great show for when they get a streaming deal, and I agree. I don't think it's the right time.
Here's the thing about that. Tony Khan has been pushing for the streaming thing. He reportedly said this. This is what he said in an interview recently, that if AEW ever wanted to do more than one pay-per-view show, he would be like, okay, we'll do shows every month, on the streaming platform, but like shows like Revolution, Double or Nothing, All Out, and Full Gear, they would be the pay ones, and the other shows would be free to stream on their streaming platform. And Kenny Omega even came out and said when AEW was getting off the ground, Tony was willing to buy a streaming platform just to get them on air.
Well, I mean, it's the Impact Wrestling formula. Let's just be honest here, James. What does Impact Wrestling do? They have the YouTube streaming as Ultimate Insiders, hail, and we get the monthly shows. And then as far as the big four pay-per-views, Hard to Kill, Rebellion, Slammiversary, Bound for Glory, you buy them on pay-per-view. But everything else you get for literally $10 a month on Impact Wrestling, including Impact Wrestling Weekly.
Yeah, why doesn't Tony just do that, actually? Formula. Yeah.
I think here's the thing. I think the reason why is because since he and WB are so tight with one another, he's trying to get them on HBO Max.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's still the case, especially with all the HBO Max advertising you see, especially during all the restaurant quality.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but here's the thing. Two things, actually. We're getting we're clearly shown that AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery, despite my increasing pissed off nature with David Zaslav and his cost cutting strategy. At least I get it, but still the way he's doing it is confusing to no end and pissing me off.
And I don't blame you.
Here's the thing. Despite that, Tony and WBD are clearly tightly knit with each other since they got the new show coming, the new reality show.
Looks really good, by the way.
Though I'll get to that in a moment. And the second thing is, it's the reason why Ring of Honor is not on WB TV and not on Honor Club, because Tony kind of realized, okay, look, I'm crazy, I am insane, I'm possibly on high amounts of drugs.
Oh gosh, here we go again.
But I am smart enough and aware to acknowledge that if I have Ring of Honor right now on a TNT or TBS, I am essentially competing with myself over networking deals that come up next year.
About Zane, you can only stretch that so thin.
Go ahead, King.
When it comes to booking, he's already competing with himself anyway, because that new Ring of Honor he's going on Thursdays. You might as well just basically stay on Honor Club, because it gave me old NXT Black and Gold vibes.
That was without a doubt.
I gotta watch. I've heard really good show reviews about.
Which is why I don't want Ring of Honor to have a TV deal just yet, because if we get matches like that, that will basically give you like NXT Black and Gold vibes. So let Ring of Honor continue on this soft launch for now, and let Tony just be a madman with his bookie and compete with it himself.
I just think they should try, and I'm just going to get this point out here real quick, and then I'm going to try and also cross with this what Jada just said. I'm just going to say this. I love the fact you brought up our old NXT, our true form NXT. The best era of NXT was the network era for only an hour. For the soft kickoff, you had a 2-hour hell kickoff for the new era Ring of Honor. Now, do I want that every week? No, because I do think there would be a point where you reach a limit. I think he did this personally just because of a kickoff. It makes me wonder, are you going to have, a few bulk 2-hour tapings for Honor Club to establish new area of Honor and then take a bit of a reprieve and then slow down? Or was this a kickoff and you're going to go back to 1 hour? I still feel like in this soft launch on the streaming platform, Ring of Honor should be 1 hour. And why JD talks about Madison Rayne, former multiple-time Knockouts World Champion, Serena Deeb, which we've been talking about for the longest time, the professor that could lead any freaking division. There has been no sign at all of Serena Deeb since her last chance of the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. Yeah. And Madison Rayne right now is coaching or mentoring or tagging, whatever word you want to use, Sky Blue. And I feel that's a very nice chemistry there too. But honestly, if they focus more on Madison Rayne mentoring Sky Blue on the Ring of Honor side of things, I'm okay with that. Serena Deeb, I have no idea where she's been.
My thing too is, since you brought it up too, so Madison Rayne and Serena Deeb also, I really think they would be the best candidates, especially Serena Deeb. I think she's the best candidate to lead and coach the women's division. And also book the women's division. But on top of that also, I think, again, more delegating needs to be done. I think Tony needs to concern himself with very few things, right? And the problem is, I think he's taken it all himself because he feels that people have dropped the ball some way, shape, or form or another. I think he needs to give the belt. I think he needs to give the trios division booking to the elite, right? Believe it or not, I think they need to start doing that.
They're the ones that wanted to spearhead that thing in the first place.
I think he needs to delegate Madison Rayne and Serena Deeb to book the women's side of things.
Why Justin and Kenny Omega have tried cooperatively.
And I think he should have FTR book the regular tag division. And then that leaves him with a couple things. The main event scene of Ring of Honor and the main event scene for AEW. That's all he should concern himself with.
Right, because QT Marshall, he works the Nightmare Factory. They have the Ring of Honor JoJo system, which of course is managed by the likes of Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana, of course, works in the producer role. You got Camille Cadellas that can influence the women's side of things for Ring of Honor. You have all this incredible intelligence at your disposal. Christopher Daniels, Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, BJ Whitmer. Shall I continue?
You had William Regal.
They did at one point, but obviously
they did. But let's be honest, Regal, he's back in WWE.
He was going back to WWE regardless.
He was going to go back.
At least I got why he left to go back to WWE instead of me going infuriating mode. Like, Tony, how did you not fight to keep him? At least I got the story.
I know the reason why, but let me also segue this back to the network thing, right? Or his streaming deal that he's doing.
As we're just going all over the place.
So
go ahead.
With AEW, right? He should also delegate networks as well. You got to keep this in mind also. TNT and TBS are not the only two Turner networks. Now, granted, I am well aware that it's still under the same conglomerate, all right? However, there is no reason that he couldn't have tried, and I think he did, by the way. I think there is. This is allegedly, by the way, what I'm saying. This is just what I think.
There's only so much one man can do, despite the size of his wallet. Let's just put it out there.
Right. I think it all comes down to Tony probably wanted to get on HBO Max, and more than likely, and this is what I would have done if this would have been the smart thing to do. Try and get the show itself on HBO. Because I can't think of anything more at HBO than having Ring of Honor on HBO. I mean, if you think of the history with, HBO and boxing, what could be more, sports-centric in that regard than having Ring of Honor on HBO? I think those two were a natural fit from the word go.
Just never was meant to be because of financing.
No, and I don't even think it was the financing. I think the financing wasn't the issue. I think the issue was.
I have a guess.
Yeah, we probably both had the same guess. It was the Briscoes. Unfortunately,
boys.
It was the Briscoes, and it's such a shame now because they finally relented and let the Briscoes name on TV. But it took a death of somebody so close to the community to do so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when I heard that, I was like, and Warner Bros. Discovery was still adamant we can't have them on there, even though the guy we didn't want is dead. We still hate the Briscoes. And then the community outraged, and Tony Khan was like putting his foot down, like, okay, look, I put my foot down with Kenny Omega over his insanity with wrestling still, when he was basically on the verge of being in a wheelchair for life. I'm putting my foot down on this. Let Jay on the show. Let the Briscoes be honored on our show.
Well, he still has the 13X, and the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles is still undetermined
finally,
at this point.
Yeah, but let me just also point this out, because JJ put this in the chat also.
Yeah, because I was about to say, there is one thing we got to consider when we talk about all these incredible minds guiding the industry. If they're still active in the industry, it could be a conflict of interest.
Yeah, let Christopher Daniels and Colt Cabana book Ring of Honor. That's a very fair shout, actually. And Dustin Rhodes handle the main event AEW scene. That way Tony can just focus on business dealings and public image. Now, listen, I don't disagree with that assessment, and knowing Dustin Rhodes, he can fucking book a main event. However, Tony can book a great fucking main event. We have seen it. We have seen the evolution of him booking great main events. We've seen him book great programs many, many times.
Men and women wise.
That isn't the issue. The issue isn't with Tony's ability to book a good main event, JJ. It's he's spreading himself way too fucking thin.
He might be booking a strong main event, but the mid card could be a bit
wonky as hell.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Or the vice versa.
Yeah. But here's my biggest criticism about last year's Revolution. I was like, okay, CM Punk and MJF just tore the house down with their bloody dog collar match. How are you going to get the crowd back on their feet when it's the middle of the match, in the middle of the show, when you could have had this open the show to start off hot, and then you kept the crowd hot throughout the show instead of it being dead before William Regal showed up?
I was saying, yeah, because after that match, I mean, geez,
what happened after that? The women's match?
Okay, so the women's match, I think, and then Bryan versus Jon Moxley, and they were like, they tried, and I was like, they had a great match, but it was like
the problem is it was 5 hours long.
The crowd is kind of dead from the Punk MJF match, so yeah, we're kind of in a rock and a hard place here.
It didn't help that everybody that night thought that Thunder Rosa should have won the title. And all the shenanigans came into play.
And JJ, by the way, JJ also said the way people can't complain about Omega booking himself in the main event picture, which I don't even know if he even had control over when he had the main event scene, by the way.
About to say, is Omega doing that, or is Tony Khan doing that? Because Tony Khan's just the guy right now that's booking
everything. That's the problem. And from what he said online, Tony has spread himself so fucking thin, at least with the booking side. I just don't understand why he's doing that. I think if he wants to book, I think he should have one guy help him, regardless, even in the main event scenes. But if he really wants to also do the booking part, okay, fine. Concern yourself with the main event pictures of both shows.
Again, that's why he gave Chris Jericho more like creative control. That's why we got the Jericho Society and the Youngtown. He's trying to groom for that. That's why we got this program with Ricky Starks. And then we also talk about all the other people he has around him. He has Tony Schiavone, which we all know Tony Schiavone is doing heavy amounts of work when it comes to not just the camera and the editing, but also professional development. And he still does subtle commentary. There is more around Tony Khan than we actually know. Again, we're not back there in that AEW ecosystem. Even AEW All Access is not going to show us all of that. We're going to get a bit more of a look, but we're never going to truly know the inner workings of the AEW booking playbook.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Eric, go on.
I think I have a possible theory. Have anyone seen that meme of SpongeBob where they have the caption saying Triple H and his hundreds of writers and Tony Khan in his notebook? Has anyone seen that?
Yeah, I have, at least.
If I had to take the wildest guess, even though Tony Khan repeatedly say he doesn't want to make the same mistake as WWE has done, as ECW has done, as WCW have done, he's kind of doing what ECW and WWE did, where they spread themselves too thin and barely have enough energy to keep going onward.
Well, I mean,
and then he's going to burn himself out like Paul Heyman did.
You got that problem every week with Monday Night Raw. I can't do that.
Yeah, but like Paul Heyman, remember how he was only sleeping like an hour or two a night and was doing all this stuff when it was just the one show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I get the other feeling that the reason why Tony Khan is so tightly controlling over the booking matter is because of that joke where Triple H has hundreds of writers, and it's like, okay, Triple H has his hundreds of writers. Okay, how many of them are actually wrestling fans?
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the industry, how can you define the industry?
And this is two things I want to say. One, WWE, you seriously should never have uploaded that creative room video because none of them talked about wrestling
so damn much.
Yeah, right.
Like if anything, you gave the fans a face to harass now, sadly.
Unfortunately.
And second, if Tony is worried about hiring just the Hollywood writer, okay, I have the perfect idea. How about you just what you've admitted to doing? Hey, there's a bunch of Twitter users that have these great ideas. Can we use them for the show? I'm pretty sure there's this one guy that
Exactly.
did Swerve in Our Glory idea.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Never gonna get off
Here
this.
we go.
No.
He's never going to live it down.
No, but you know what? Eric has a right to say that because that was
does.
legitimately his idea.
He does.
And I've had ideas that have been taken by Tony. I've seen it with my own eyes. You guys have seen it with me. It's not just Eric he's done that to. And I'm not by the way, I'm not saying I'm expecting fucking greatest royalties or whatever.
But I know I can't. I'm not expecting royalties, but it would be kind of awesome if he just said, "Oh yeah, I took that idea from him." I took that idea
right.
from him.
Like if you want ideas, it's not hard to look through. You just have to.
I mean, the fans
it's
got
like
the
Vince
industry.
Russo. It's like Vince Russo. You just have to filter out the dumb bullshit and then figure out what makes sense because there's always that 5%. You know.
Well,
And-
that's easier said than done. Let's be honest here.
Right.
But it's amazing how much we subtangent from WrestleMania creative booking to AEW infrastructure booking overall.
We just
stuff.
love wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's just admit we just
yeah,
love wrestling.
we love to
That's fine.
talk about wrestling and put it this way.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about NJPW, where Mercedes Monet, she's facing Asumi and Mayu Iwatani. Is she done in NJPW after that? Does Forbidden Door have it with her and Jamie Hayter? Impact Wrestling's going to take on NJPW. Kokota Ibushi show up in Impact Wrestling after taking Speedball Mike Billy on a Josh Bonet's
Jay
bus.
Whiteo is probably going to sign with WWE.
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. I feel that's the next big thing. What the hell is the future for Jay White now that we know that the last day of his merch in NJPW is one and done? So he's officially done in the NJPW ecosystem. So if he were to go to AEW and he wants to be still involved in, collaboration, because AEW collaborates with everybody, including NJPW, can't do that. If he wants to go back to Impact Wrestling, Bullet Club's there. If he wants to be part of NJPW, can't do that. If he goes to WWE, he would literally be theirs and get a name change and be on Level Up, like Carl Fredericks.
Well,
Right.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Two things about Jay White. It's now being reported that it's strong.
JJ. Go ahead.
It's now being reported that it's definitely looking like he's signing with WWE after Mania. Yeah, and I was like, two things. Okay, one, I'm not going to do what the psychopaths on Twitter do, where they gatekeep for some reason and say you shouldn't go to WWE. I'll just say, good luck, man. Just know what you're getting into.
I thought he was gonna do the Hobbit thing where he says, "You shall not pass," and put the staff.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I was like, Jay, if you do go to WWE, I know the money's good, but good luck, man. Just remember what they did to Bronson Reed.
Well, I mean,
To
Bronson
Jonah.
Reed hasn't been used that badly.
I mean, Jonah.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Like,
it's like,
he started
he's
doing
back
good now, but when
now.
he,
they
yeah,
don't
but
have
when
much for him to do, though, James. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when they started off. Like, he went from being Okada to being the Mrs. Bodyguard, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what the hell did
That
you
is-
do, Triple H?
To be fair, also, I think there's only so many fucking spots. To be fair, I
That's
think
the problem
that's
with this
kind of what we're
industry.
seeing.
There's so much quality in talent
That
and
you
quantity
can't
that
fit
you
'em all.
don't have enough spots for everybody.
Yeah, that's the problem, really. I
I'm
think
like, here's what I would have done if he wanted to resign with WWE. I said, okay, look, I know we didn't really give you much of a run in NXT with a title, and we probably won't this time around, but you can at least have a match with Braun Breaker for a big show
They
and do a
have no
huge match
big
there.
dudes.
Then
Scott knows that.
and if we have a plan, then we'll get you on the main roster and probably have you do something big there instead of being Mrs. Bodyguard.
They really don't have any really big Bronson Reed built type dudes in this NXT. The biggest dudes they got down there is Dijakovic and Jinder, and that's not saying a whole lot.
well, Dijak's actually really good, but no,
He is.
with
I thought he was
Yeah,
going to win
he
the
is.
championship, and I like the new character actually.
I think when it comes to Bronson, I'm not necessarily sure he should have gone to WWE. I've been saying this for a while. I think he should have actually stayed in New Japan and joined the United Empire. Especially with what they're
Yes.
doing with the Elite now. I think him joining the United Empire would have been great for him. And I also said the same thing about Jacob Fatu. Because that could be your trio.
Still talking about that name.
I would have loved to see a Samoan SWAT trio, bro.
I don't know if Jacob Fatu is ever going to go to WWE. I feel like he
No,
is
man.
freaking MLW.
Bro,
like,
if you've
for life.
seen his promos, bro, he's way too savage for the E. Are you kidding me? There's no way. Dude,
Look,
he's
the only way I've
as
seen
savage as
Jacob
Mark
Fatu-
and JR.
There's only two ways I see Jacob Fatu going to WWE. One, if they go TV 14 again, and two,
Exactly.
if MLW shuts down.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well, I mean, yeah, but MLW is also at least letting them work other places. So I still think there would have been an option.
I'm talking about from like a pure, complete perspective because WWE and MLW are kind of not on the best terms right now.
Well,
Yeah, especially after the whole lawsuit thing. And then
and
nice
plus,
one for
apparently MLW was actually trying to be like, hey, Peacock, can we get on the show? Can we be on the streaming platform or a sister platform? And then they came back and said, no, we can't because it's a WWE signed an exclusive deal with us for wrestling exclusivity. So we're basically going EA on them.
Yeah, it's like you can't be in this building. WWE has their name on it. You can't.
Is that what the fucking lawsuit was about?
No. The lawsuit was because WWE blocked MLW from joining a minor subscription service belonging to Fox.
Okay, that's
even though they're still losing half the revenue, and it makes you wonder if Fox is going to actually renew that contract. But I'm not a stockholder. What do I know? Damn it. But then everyone would get butthurt where Vince would do the releases. And who's to say budget cuts won't be on the freaking around the corner after the WrestleMania week?
Listen, all I know is that MLW is the better version of NWA. That's all I gotta say. Next.
NWA. Oh God.
I'm sorry. Let's just. Should we? Is that a good segue?
No, it's too late, man.
Is that a good
It's
segue?
too late. I gotta say it. I gotta say
turn
it.
it back after that. You said your piece.
Go ahead, Eric. Please.
Damn.
The moment they signed EC3, they killed it.
Yep.
To me, that promotion's dead.
CYN,
the Far Righters.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was already problematic enough with Brodus Clay.
Yeah, they sign control your narrative. Fathers control your narrative. They sign control your narrative.
I don't even have necessarily a problem with Tyrus as a person, even with his political. I don't really give a shit.
Well,
it's not. I don't have an issue with Tyrus as a person. My issue is
champion.
What the fuck? The dude can't even move.
He can't even jump off the top rope properly for his size.
Dude, I'm not expecting him to jump off the top rope. However, I'm expecting him to at least be, I don't know, mobile.
Well, maybe Chris Adonis
knees are shot. He can barely run the fucking ropes without almost crumbling to the fucking ground head first.
Well, maybe Chris Adonis will finally get it. James, you'll get him versus Odison, who further impressed you, and maybe Natalia Varkova will take on.
Okay, at this point,
yes.
when, like they had a chance with Matt Cardona. They had the chance with Matt Cardona. Then he got injured. Then they gave it to Brodus Clay. It's like, okay, we need a transitional champion. We'll just wait till Matt Cardona gets healed up, and then he comes back, and then he still loses. And I was like, well, this promotion is dead to me. How far are you going to go further?
And here comes another NWA Women's Championship, the television championship for the women.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, that's.
Another title, yes. Another title in NWA.
Let's just break. I'll rant about this. Fuck it. Here we go. James rants for the first time in about
get your drink.
6 months.
This is a James Hebert warning. He's about to go off.
I'm about to go off. Mom. Okay. The worst. I see. I am well aware that Samoa Joe is technically not the undisputed king of television. However, who gives a fuck, okay? Because the NWA absolutely sucks for one reason, and that is these fucking television titles on television go 6 minutes and 5 seconds because 6:05, fucking it's not enough time for a wrestling match. It's not.
Like even Zack Sabre Jr. and the TV title in New Japan got it right.
I mean, and they have not even gone to a 15-minute draw. Every one of them's been about over 10 minutes. From Ren Narita to Blake Christian to Clark Connors to Tomohiro Ishii. Zack Sabre Jr. right now has the perfect title for him.
By the way, JJ, I'm not hating on the Funkasaurus. I'm not even hating on Tyrus the person at all. I'm hating that they thought it was a great idea to put a guy that doesn't have knees with the fucking belt. That's my problem. It's a
I can take a guess why they have him.
I mean, James, you were ranting about it being on Trevor Murdoch. Are you saying that should go back on Trevor Murdoch versus Tyrus?
I remember that rant.
Please
So,
no, please
Oh
no.
yeah, I forgot about that.
So,
but
okay,
here's the
I will
thing,
at least give Trevor credit. At least he is mobile. At least he tries.
True.
You know,
That
it's
is
just,
But
true.
it's
here's
not
the
a good
thing,
look right now.
James.
Go
I
ahead.
already know. I can take a wild guess why he's still the NWA champion.
Go ahead. I suppose
Because he's also on Fox News.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's the thing. I kept hearing this. I'm not sure if this is true, but apparently, oh god, the NWA got the biggest exposure at the NFL championship.
Yep. Fox News was showing a commercial, and it was Tyrus.
When I heard that, I was like, "Well, he's never dropping the title. Might as well call it."
Okay, so during the Super Bowl, when they usually do their Super Bowl commercials, Fox News aired their commercial, and it showed Tyrus holding the NWA World Heavyweight Championship around his shoulder around the Super Bowl commercial. So yeah, that is true. What you heard.
Wow.
But that's the thing. That's what makes me really like Tyrus as a person too. Like, because yes, he has his political beliefs, but I don't really judge people on political beliefs. I'm too old for that shit anymore. I'm too old to do that shit anymore. But I respect Tyrus because Tyrus, like, here's a good example of why I like Tyrus as a person so much, right? Because to show that this is nothing against him as a person, right? Tyrus, when Punk came back, and he had the national title at the time, right, which I also disagree with for all the reasons I mentioned why he's got the belt now, he held that belt so proud after they aired that footage on Fox News, and they covered the story on Fox News, and, I mean, these guys are complete polar opposite politically as you can get, and Tyrus said that day he was a proud person, a proud professional wrestler. I remember this whole interview, and I'm like, you know what? This fucker has my respect. Right? Even so, that doesn't fucking mean... I get he has the perks. I get he has the desire to represent a company to the utmost degree and represent wrestling in a positive way. That doesn't mean he can. He can't. You know, and not because of any other reason other than he physically can't do it anymore. He can't. Dude, just if you really want to, you could put it on anybody else and have Tyrus work out a deal with Fox or whatever to go into the fucking crowd and represent and be in that spot. Well, if Tyrus has the connections, why doesn't he have somebody else hold the belt and then they make the connections for him to be there?
Well, this, again, like I said, James, maybe this will cheer up. On the next NWA pay-per-view, it's going to be Chris Adonis, the former match with Chris Masters, taking on Tyrus for the NWA World Championship, one-on-one.
We got fair enough, but who knows? I don't know where they go. And quite frankly, after that NWA disaster, mostly, especially with poor fucking Kevin Kiley almost killing himself, yeah, I think I'm good on. I think I'm good on NWA for a while.
The name that you lost your mind on, and then you realize
I felt so bad, bro. Did anybody see that fucking suicide dive? Did anybody actually see what happened?
I haven't watched the NWA in a long while. Since before the pandemic.
I've seen the clip.
You have seen. So King knows exactly where I'm going with this.
I think I did see a clip of it.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
Okay, so I'll explain exactly what happened in case you saw the camera shot that they showed on the pay-per-view. This fucking EC3 decided I'm not gonna get in the position to catch this fucker and protect him from his dive, right? So instead of getting in the position to do it, which, granted, maybe Riley shouldn't have been doing it in the fucking first place. Granted, whatever. It's been years since he's been in the ring. But still, the professional thing in that instance is you're supposed to protect your fucking opponent behind the scenes of a match, okay? This fucking moron decided, instead of doing that, he just nonchalantly let him crash and burn right onto that wooden floor. And there's an angle where he just nonchalantly holds out his hands, thinking he'll catch him, but he doesn't really. And he just lets him fall, and then he's just like... What do you mean you don't know? You know what you fucking did, you jackass. Fuck off. Before I said Ethan Carter just needed to get some professional fucking help. No, man, you need to be fucking out of this industry for shit like that. You're as bad as fucking Sexy Star is to the fucking industry, and that's putting it politely, by the way.
Ouch.
Seriously,
Damn.
fuck Ethan Carter III, fuck Control Your Narrative, fuck that entire group. Anyway.
Okay, well, there's our typical NWA retort, courtesy of James Hebert.
That's all I gotta say. JJ also said comments in the chat, and so did Kuzma.
James, you should have ended it off saying this. Nuff said.
You
had the opportunity, man.
God damn it. God
This
damn it.
opportunity by James Hebert. I mean, Camille, again, she's the constant. She's the one that she is the NWA World Women's Champion. Until she loses that title, she's always going to be the reason I definitely tune in because I have massive respect for her.
She's the only one that fucking matters in that entire cesspool.
Well, she's also had interviews where she wouldn't mind, being one day part of WWE for a bigger audience and to show what women are capable of and test herself on a standard stage. And we talk about.
I don't blame her in the slightest. I mean,
hey, look at Raquel Rodriguez. Just saying, all she's got to do is stop smiling. But speaking of NXT, I got to wonder at this point, is Carmella Hayes the one to take the title off Braun Breaker? Is Braun Breaker going to finally move up?
Hold on.
After WrestleMania, who stands and delivers?
Hold on. Before we do that, it would be disrespectful to Kuzan and JJ, who are in the chat actually talking.
Okay, what they got?
JJ said...
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so let Ariane, Andrew,
and Trinity Fatu come out. Oh, the fucking dactyls with Tyrus, and James will pop like BG when he sees.
God, no. I wasn't really that big on Tyrus either. I thought he was kind of a mobile then, but he was way mobile back in WWE. But no, that gimmick can die a death.
Yeah, I'm about to say he's supposed to be super serious, and then he became the freaking guy out of the '70s.
Kuzan says, side question: what do you think of the Moist Wrestling League?
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Did anybody who watches Moist Critical, a.k.a. Charlie, a.k.a. Penguins Zero?
Nope.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Nope.
I have no idea what you're talking about. If it's not wrestling, whoop.
He did a parody of wrestling. And I don't know. I got through, I'm gonna be honest, Jack, I got through 5 minutes of this thing. The way that Hip Toss Takeover was performed, I clicked the fuck off. I'm like, nope. I just can't.
And they say don't try
I know
it
it was a parody.
On YouTube,
I'm aware it was a parody, so I have to kind of I don't know, brace myself for the parody of it. I'm sure it was meant to be done that way. I'm sure they're not trained professionals, so it's gonna look shit regardless. I just need some time to be able to be okay with it, because that hip toss just made me fucked.
You don't have to be good at anything. You just have to have a camera and an internet connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so quick little wrestling rundown. Steve Macklin will challenge Josh Alexander at Rebellion for the Impact World Championship. He finally might become the Impact World Champion.
Fuck
Deanna Purrazzo's in the program right now with Giselle Shaw. I feel it's a filler because I still feel like if Deanna's going to stick around, she should be the one to dethrone Hardcore Country. I think Hardcore Country needs to go full on crazy. After buying Monster's Tongue, I thought she was becoming that, to be fair. I still believe in Joe Hendry. That was one of my favorite matches I've ever called in my life. .combat. And as far as NXT goes, I'm looking very forward to Roxanne Perez versus Michael Satomura. Roxanne is the prodigy that delivers on promise in her incredible short-term progress. She is a top superstar already in the making, but I don't want to see her NXT Women's title run end just yet. So good luck against the final boss. And as Carmella Hayes is him to be the one that doesn't miss, that sends Braun Breaker up to the main roster once and for all. I guess we'll see soon enough who stands and delivers. Before we get into our main event, does anyone have anything to say regarding Impact, NXT, or anything else in all things wrestling?
Well, two things I have. Eddie Edwards has signed an extension, new contract.
Good for him.
With Impact.
Good for him. It went surprise me the list falls that as well.
Congratulations.
Also, a few weeks ago, I found out from A journalist from bodyslam.net, Yuan C. Reno. Does anyone know him?
Yes, I do.
Well, guess what I found out from him, and I was like,
Well,
those sons of bitches.
I'm just gonna say allegedly because any
I
journalist I've
understand.
never heard the name of, I'm going to say allegedly going forward.
That's probably
But
a wise
continue.
way of going about things.
Yeah, well, this is what I heard this tweet from him, and I was like, wait, if this is true, those sons of bitches.
They are guys being trained to be fair. All right, well, there you go, James. Anyway, continue, Eric.
WWE is the apparent reason that we will most likely never see AEW in the formerly known Staples Center or Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. They blocked them off from that. I remember something
Who blocked them off
that.
from that?
WWE.
Whatever. I don't buy that. I'll believe it.
Yeah,
when I
but
fucking
like
see
it was good. It could have been big money for AEW. Like, oh come on. But
they're still getting money now, but
yeah, I know. But still, Funko Pops, I would have paid for an Eddie Kingston bloody with gasoline. I would have paid for that.
God, that'd be a morbid
that
Funko
would be a
Pop.
ridiculous one to say the least. But
King,
we can talk about Eddie Kingston a little bit because that does make me wonder. When he quit AEW, did he truly just go to Ring of Honor?
I do have an update.
Hold on, Eric. Let King speak.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say that kind of makes me wonder because I mean he said, he expressed his frustrations on social media, but it does make you wonder. Of course, it's a work. Did he just go to Ring of Honor and just left AEW altogether? Just to go to Ring of Honor.
I was spoiled with one picture, but in short, yes. That's all I will say. I'm not going to say why that is, but yes.
Heck, even Tony Khan confirmed it in the press conference thing where he said it's
until it airs on TV, I'd like to keep it spoiler free.
Yeah, I understand.
But
clearly they're going to run Ortiz versus Kingston because that was the storyline being developed. Clearly,
yeah.
So,
but guess what Dax Hardwood said about Eddie Kingston?
Go right ahead.
And when I heard this, I was like, called it. I knew my pitch for Eddie Kingston versus MJF and the comparison was accurate. Dax said Eddie Kingston is AEW's version of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To a degree. Yes.
Yeah,
but
gone through hard times.
Differences. There's key differences because
mostly the violence and cursing.
Don't give a damn. I'm still gonna just be real with you, dog, because that's who I am. I'm gonna be that until I die. I should already be in the ground after Cindy was told to write that down.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, man. For me, it's like the thing I'm looking forward to the most in all things wrestling. If we're gonna talk about all things wrestling, you bring up Steve Maclin, man. I'm ready for that Steve Maclin and Josh Alexander match. I've been ready for it for ages now. We're finally fucking getting it. He's finally got his just due, Steve Maclin. I am so ready for this freaking clinic that they're going to have, man. I've been so impressed with this guy since he left WWE and went to Impact. This guy has had banger after banger on that fucking show.
Yep.
I am so ready to see what he's gonna do against Josh. I think he's a star in the making, man. Just leaving that company, man. I think he's got a new lease on life, and I think there's gonna be a big thing for. I think there's gonna be a crowning achievement for Steve Maclin and showing what he can do, man. I'm really looking forward to this matchup.
Considering his fiance is already a 2-time Knockouts champion, Knockouts Tag Team champion. Queen, homecoming queen. I mean, yeah, I feel it would be fitting. Honestly, I could see both of them being champions before the end of the year. And there's your new power couple of the industry.
Yeah, true. King,
I would not be mad, JJ, but I would be surprised considering Roxy's run has just started. I still feel like the big money program there is her versus Cora J. Whenever she's clear.
King, real quick, what do you think of Steve Maclin? Have you seen anything from Steve Maclin on Impact?
Oh, yeah. I've seen Steve Maclin on Impact, and he looks totally different from when I've seen him on NXT when he was part of the Forgotten Sons. Totally different, totally improved in the ring, and I'm looking forward to seeing him and Josh Alexander go in the ring. for the Impact World Championship.
You know.
Rebellion.
Do you know who I can kind of see in him? And this is probably the most obvious comparison.
You mean besides the Punisher?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, but it's a specific version of the Punisher. We're not talking about any. We're talking about the one from the Netflix series. That's kind of the vibe I get with Steve Macklin. Honest to God,
That's a fair take.
like he
John.
just no nonsense. I am gonna fuck you up. I don't care if you're a face. I don't care if you're a heel. I don't care if you're a twin. I don't give a fuck if you ride on the gray line. I'm gonna make sure I take you the fuck out, and I'm standing tall at the end of it, and I'm the top dog here. And I like that. I like that about him, man.
Yeah, he is just a soldier that stands on his own. Eric, what's on your mind?
Go ahead, Eric.
Also, two things. One,
Two more things.
all this talk about Steve, I was like, oh, wait, there was that other thing that happened with a different Steve and forcing to resign following several blowups on Twitter.
What happened?
I know exactly. Oh,
you haven't heard what happened?
I haven't, but King, you want to inform us?
I know exactly what Eric's talking about. Are you talking about Steve Carrier from Ringside News?
Yeah, he kind of had several massive meltdowns over the last couple of weeks since Christmas. He had a blow up on Christmas saying he got robbed and beat up. Okay, I feel sorry for you, but then he said he was not going to pay taxes to Florida, which I'm pretty sure is just admitting to tax evasion. He also started a feud with Paige Soraya and got into a huge Twitter argument with her on that, to the point that he decided to repost several articles through the main Ringside News account about all the horrible things that Alberta Patron did to her.
Of course, because all we need to do to move forward is talk about the past.
Wait, what?
Yeah, and also
I'm confused. Okay, so this is on Del Rio and Soraya.
Yeah, well, Soraya was mostly targeted. They did this. Okay,
Who was targeting her again?
Steve Carrier
from Ringside News.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Basically, a reporter gone.
Yeah.
I fuck him. I don't care.
Yeah.
Journalistic integrity.
Yeah, he has as much fucking credibility to his name as fucking Dave Meltzer does, and that's not a lot, by the way. Next.
And here's what did happen after that blow up.
Go ahead. Fair enough.
He finally admitted, I have went too far with this. I'm stepping down.
Well, that's probably the best thing to do. Now just delete the tweeter.
Well, I mean...
he deleted those retweets. He deleted all those retweets and all that cursing and foul-mouthed language. Oh, and I'm not going to say the specific Twitter account's name just for the sake of it, but I'm not. But, like, they said something recently, and I was like, this is why no one gave you credibility at the start. When you were admitting you had Brad Shepard as one of your contributors under a pen name.
Wait, what? Fake name? Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, this group, I'm not going to say their name, they said Brad Shepard was one of our contributors under a pen name, and I was like, do you not see the problem here? Do you not see the problem what you did when you hired him? The fact that he was so hated to the point that tribalists of AEW and WWE came together and said, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
Which is saying a lot if you're able to unify the tribalist wrestling community together and be like, yeah, that guy sucks. He's the problem in wrestling.
Yeah, no, I think you are. You're toxic to industry growth, fucker.
Yeah, Britney Spears wrote a song about you. Go look it up. By the way, shout out Chris Bang and Austin. Congratulations on winning the Impact World Tag Team Championships against the Motion Machine Guns. Incredible match. Kenta, our new NWW Strong Openweight Champion on NWW Strong. Julia defended the red belt successfully. Saya Kamatani has successfully surpassed Momo Watanabe for the white belt. Everything going on in wrestling just keeps on delivering as we enter the month of wrestling madness, which is March. That will culminate with the craziest week of the year, WrestleMania week, where every company underneath the sun in and out of the country will most likely be presented. And we kick things off in March with AEW. From a vision to a movement to revolution.
And I know how to start this off.
Go right ahead.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about
Go
AEW
ahead.
Revolution then, as again, it is time for our opening of the AEW pay-per-view cycle of 2023. Coming to us from the Chase Center this time. And we have 8 matches on the main card, and we have now known 1 match on the buy-in. So, Eric, why don't you go ahead and talk to us about how you want to kick this thing off, because it doesn't sound like you want to go with buy-in first. What's on your mind?
Bryan Danielson went on an interview, and because he continues to be crazy, surprisingly, none of this involved innuendo, so I can't make the horny comment, Brian stuff.
Good.
Bad. But I can still say he's insane, because that's what he's been saying. He's been pitching to Tony Khan, or at least he wants to tell Tony Khan this.
Go ahead.
Okay, Tony, I have this idea, and it is nothing sexual for once. Hooray.
Okay.
How about we have the main event world title match open the show?
I can't. No, I can't. I can't.
No, I can't
Sorry,
see
you
that.
can't. No
Can't
way.
do
Yeah,
that.
Brian was pitching to Tony Khan saying, I want to open the show with the hour-long Iron Man match so I can go crazy and probably do something suggestive.
Look, I'm just going to say this before we talk about this card. The 2 most important matches on this card is the AEW World Championship and the Texas Death Match. Each one of those is going to reflect on the other towards Double or Nothing. That is just my honest opinion. And why the Texas Death Match? If it was lights out, yes, absolutely. Because they did that back at Full Gear, if y'all remember correctly, the first Full Gear.
Correct.
But right now,
Yes.
the biggest match on this card, the biggest match in AEW, has to freaking be the AEW World Championship. And Kuzan, I'm having a great time. By the way, it's night here. It's 1:10 a.m. Again, what is sleep? Proven wrestling skills can be... I don't know if that's true. Then again, MJF talked about...
Sexually, you're not reading the whole comment. Proving wrestling skills can be sexually transmitted. Nice. Oh, boy.
Okay. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, ask MJF. He's been putting shoulders to mats and banging rats, apparently, according to Bryan Danielson.
Well,
Damn.
now he's gonna have to. He doesn't have. Yeah, that made me sad. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Again, a realism. So, I mean, yeah. So, what we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 matches on a main card. I can't believe single-digit number of matches in AEW pay-per-view. Tony Khan.
That won't last.
My God.
That's not gonna last. Trust me.
That's not gonna last.
That's not gonna last.
Well, I mean, we
That's not
got
gonna last
9
at all.
now total because we do have a buy-in. I think it's pretty safe to say them Boy and Lucha Bros are going to beat the varsity athletes. I mean, is there anything else to say about that?
Oh,
Unless
I am
you
looking
think-
forward to that match, though, just because of the contrast of styles.
I am, but also, does this mean Mark Briscoe's going to pick a tag team partner to present him as the other half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions heading into Supercard of Honor? Out of Lucha Brothers?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
a good,
saying.
I don't know.
that's a good question. I'm not sure. Really. I think they should, because at this point you kind of need to do something with that. Not sure what you do, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's a good match. I'm looking forward to the contrast of styles there. I just hope that the key. I mean, we know we're gonna get double-digit matches. I mean, they're gonna add 3 more matches to the buy-in, and it's going to make a 12-match card. They did it last time.
Let's just do 2 more and just not go insane. Buy-in, I feel like a 3 is a
Actually,
number,
they might only do
buy-in.
2. I did just consider. The other thing we got to consider is they're probably going to put Stokely Hathaway versus Hook on this show, probably.
Oh God.
On the buy-in.
R.I.P. Stokely Hathaway.
No,
Yeah.
I think they said they were going to do that in a few weeks.
They're not doing it.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Okay.
No, they said it was going to do that in a few
Okay.
weeks.
They're not going to put Hook in the buy-in at all.
Not on this
No.
one.
I don't think so. There's no need to right now. He beat Matt Hardy.
Fair
Yep.
enough. Okay, so who do you put? Maybe
Big Bill.
Big Bill.
I still can't get over that name. How
Yeah,
his name-
that name will
Bill.
never get better with age ever. That name is
No.
so bad, bro.
No, it won't.
Big Bill. That's
With
it.
Lee Moriarty, who plays the ukulele.
Also,
can we just-
I'm surprised no
just
one
get
has
Enzo?
made this meme.
Anyway, go ahead, Neo.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised no one has made that meme where Bret Hart just comments, "I like Big Bill. He's better than Bill Goldberg."
I mean, he is.
But
But that's not a high bar, to be honest. Fucking Glacier was fucking better than Goldberg, for crying out loud.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah. I went
All
there.
right. Well, I mean, hey, you're sticking with Warner Brothers, Sub-Zero. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm back as a cyborg. Make us a cyborg. He's Sub-Zero now. That is no effect.
But yeah.
Sorry, we went off it. We went off at the tangent again. We were saying Clash of Styles or
yeah, I'm looking
at what Clash of Styles.
Something like that.
Overall, I'm looking forward to this card, but to go back to what we originally talked about, which was the main event opening the show, I disagree. Gilbert was better than Goldberg. True that, JJ. But no,
that's a fact.
But real quick,
yep.
I think with this, you gotta make it last. You gotta make that Iron Man match the final match of the night. It's 60 minutes. Name one pay-per-view where you have had and besides NXT and their craziness. I think it might have happened during the pandemic. That's the only other time I remember it happening. Name one pay-per-view show where the Iron Man match ever opened the show.
Let me double check. I'm currently looking on the list.
30-minute Iron Man match, Kenny Omega and Pac. Was that the opener on a Dynamite?
But that was the opener on a Dynamite. But that was
only half the time.
I would also say, wasn't Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardy Boys a 30-minute Iron Man match? That Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, but that was still 30 minutes. I'm not talking about 30 minutes. I'm talking 60.
Okay, let me double check.
Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, I think was SmackDown closer.
Yeah, but that was 30. That was 30 either way.
It was 30?
Yeah, it was 30 minutes. So
Triple H, I think Triple H, was closer as well.
I think it just comes down to if you have a 60-minute Iron Man match, and it's for the World Championship. That has to go
not
last.
X Division like Josh Alexander and TJP that went into overtime into Impact Wrestling Television. So technically it was the opener, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Again,
okay, I looked it up. No match besides the 30-minute matches have ever closed the show. I think the only one that you could theoretically say is the Josh Alexander versus TJP for the X Division title.
Yeah, because it went into overtime.
Yeah, that's it.
And again.
Yeah, so it has to be the main event. It just does, especially for a paid show. I would make that the main event, and that's the thing that most people that buy the show are looking forward to the most. A lot of people are excited if they bought this pay-per-view for Danielson MJF. I am one of them. Noah, I know you are too.
I think it's safe to say that's probably the most looked forward to match on this entire card that has a bunch of interesting stuff, and then you have stuff here that's like, okay, that's a thing.
The 4-way tag match. So we want to just get this fucking god shite out of the way.
If someone has an Acclaim mic drop, or you want to drop an Acclaim mic drop in the chat,
okay, guy. I do have an update regarding the tag team match.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Allegedly.
It's been reported. So because no one really cares about this match, it's been reported that yes, the end game is still FTR beats the Gun Club.
Thank God. Okay, that's what I figured.
So FTR is going to resign. Okay, if they haven't already.
So that means at this point it's going to be the Guns that are probably going to retain.
Right.
Yeah, apparently the Gun Club is set to be the end game scenario for them.
And that's
maybe Double or Nothing. I mean, I could take that again. I feel that this Double or Nothing being the 5th one, it's got to be special. It's got to be big. It's back where it all began. This show has been the genesis of this brand. So, I mean, yeah, but I mean, we got Slapnuts, Scissoring, and Ass Boys. This is a perverted third-party browser's infomercial I've ever seen. When all you're missing is men.
Oh God,
I don't know, man. You gotta. We're also forgetting about the wild card too. When you got a dude always putting his hands in his pockets, and then you got the dude who looks like he would be off the street corner doing some shady shit. So I mean, none of it seems.
Look.
None of it looks good.
Let's all agree on one thing. Imagine if Bryan Danielson was at the center of all that insanity innuendos.
Oh God, the innuendos. Bro. Yes, very nice, very pervy.
All I'm gonna say is if the gold goes on Triple J, you might as well reinvent the dark days of TNA. Can we please move on and just say if the Guns are unfortunately going to retain?
I hope they do. Please don't give
Yes.
them the I beg.
If FTR is the end game, that's the only reason I'll accept it.
Dude,
Otherwise, why you got two teams in here and it should just be the Acclaim versus Guns?
I'm one of the
There's
few.
no other logic.
I'm one of the few people that can tolerate Jarrett and the decision on why he did what he did in TNA. Doesn't mean it was good, but I understand why they were done. That doesn't mean it needs to happen again. There's no reason for it to happen again. Please do not win the fucking titles.
We understand,
Please.
James. I said this before. I will only declare Jeff Jarrett's time in AEW, besides backstage wise, a complete success if he feuds with Eddie Kingston and they make the iconic shirt "Redeem These
Here we
Slap
go.
Nuts."
Here we go again.
He's a marketing genius right here, folks. He's a marketing genius.
That will be the one time that then Jeff Jarrett can finally say, "I at least found a draw, Don."
I mean, well, no, he's drawn. He's not
No,
big. But
it's that common joke where people say he never drew, then he could just joke.
Who the fuck?
I finally drew.
By the way, who the fuck started that whole thing? I forget his name, but Jeff's.
If I'm correct, it was a former WCW Turner Network executive that was on the WWE documentary of Rise and Fall of WCW.
I mean, I know. I don't remember the guy's name, but the one who also was helping to facilitate WCW being canceled on Turner. All right, yeah, fuck you too, buddy.
But again, like Jeff Meacham said, James, and it's clear as day, that was a ship already sinking, which is a captain going down with it from the beginning.
Anyway, so you wanted the mic drop. Here's a mic drop with this fucking tag match.
Go for it.
Whatever the fuck.
I'm not monetized. Go for it. It's after dark. Be as vulgar as you want.
I want to know what the hell crack mixed with shit Tony was smoking when he booked this goddamn 4-way. Seriously. Like, it's so bad. Why would you... Like, I get Jarrett and Lethal. Okay, fair enough. There's history with the Acclaimed.
Right.
Why Orange Cassidy, Dan Hansen?
Well, no, okay, so Danhausen, I get...
Danhausen.
But they already did that already. They blew that off on the Dynamite. 2 weeks ago, they blew that off. It was done.
Yes.
The heat that they could have got was blown off. The best friends got one up on the heels. That was it.
Yep.
Right.
Why are we going back to that when it's already been done? I don't understand that.
They're probably just going to book Danhausen versus Jeff Jarrett on Dynamite.
The best friends did not need to be in the match. If anybody needed to be in this match, it's FTR, because FTR would have had history with at least 2 out of the 3 teams.
Yeah. Though I think FTR still says they're on break and they're going to be back in like maybe later in March or April.
Which is fair enough. But if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
Then you could have just booked a triple threat. And even then, I wouldn't have even just booked the triple threat. I would have just fucked the multi-man stip. You had a good story going on with the Guns and the Acclaimed.
All for daddy
ass at the freaking heart of it.
That's all you needed. That's all that needed to be done. Have Billy Gunn sick of this bullshit and said, I'm not siding with either one of you fuckers, but I'll tell you what I will do. We're going to call this shit right down the middle. I'm going to be the special guest referee, and I'm going to make sure no shenanigans happen, and we're going to make sure that there's a winner. That's it. That's how you do that. It's Billy Gunn, special guest referee, the Acclaim versus the Guns for the AEW tag team titles. I don't know why they didn't deal with this.
James, I got a question. Did you pitch this? Did you pitch this weeks back on any of your podcasts?
No, because I, honest to God, thought that's where they were going.
Well,
why would I need to pitch
that's the
that?
only way Tony Khan will listen. That's the only way Tony Khan's going to listen.
Why? I thought that's where he was going. Why the fuck am I going to fucking pitch it when it was clear as day after they booked the match on TV? They had a fuck finish. They did a dusty finish. The title was smacked into the head of Max Caster. The rematch clause was valid. It was there. It made sense.
It did.
What?
But then you had to have Triple J
It's all true.
and have best friends.
I don't need to pitch something that I thought was obviously like, I don't know, fucking
Right there.
Right
yes.
there in front of you.
Right
That's
there.
right
Right in
there.
front of you.
What? Yeah. It's like, it's just
Also,
right there.
looking at this card, I finally realized something.
What?
This will be the
What?
first time Jade Cargill and the TBS title were not added.
triple threat.
That is correct.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, nothing for buy-in yet either, as far as I know. I'm sure you're tracking Tony Khan, AEW social media. That's why I look at the chat here for a moment. JD kind of wants Jared and Lee for the win the belts, and he also says Orange Cassidy has room in his backpack for another belt, even though Orange Cassidy said whatever. Triple threat singles matches for the tag team titles, WWE and COVID style.
No.
Fair take.
God. No. Let's leave those days. Leave the memories alone.
Guess what?
Why am
Tony
I
Khan
scaring
decided-
you? What am I doing that's scary? Shit.
Because you were going on a bit of a rant there, and your microphone was going in and out, which just feels like you were really trying to bolster your point,
Yeah.
but also you were a bit like really going into it. At the end of the day, I thought you were going to get Triple J versus Orange Cassidy and Danhausen on the buy-in. That just screams buy-in for me. I agree, it should have been a traditional tag, but
And yeah, where's Jade?
that bitch is somewhere waiting for somebody to step up.
Well, here's the thing. I think they finally came to the admittance of, okay, Jade, we don't have anyone else. Chris Statlander's still injured, so
She's
you're
still
probably
the
going to
one,
be
I
on break
wonder.
this time.
Is she still the one? She's going to be at the meet and greets, apparently, with Adam Cole, baby. If that just tells us anything, is she still the one?
I
Is
already.
she?
This is what you needed to do. There's big. I've recommended this ages ago. There's Kayla
Savannah Evans.
Kayla Rossi, Sawyer Rex, Savannah Evans, Camille. There are women there that you could have come into AEW to give a legitimate challenge to Jade Cargill. Hell, you could have one of the Stardom women come in also. Hell, I personally wouldn't mind seeing Asia Khan as one last Legends appearance versus Jade Cargill. That would be baller. Unless she's retired, but I don't know.
No, she's not retired.
Okay,
She's gonna
James,
be
I got
involved.
something you're definitely going to rant about.
Why is it bad?
no.
Oh no. Why?
It's a good one, but it will make you pissed at Tony.
Okay, it's a good one? Okay.
This is what
Wait, how's
happened
that a
on
good
February
one?
If you're gonna be mad
This
at
happened
Tony,
on
so
February 27th this year.
Okay.
Jay Cargill wrote this. Bite me then. And then someone responded saying, "Oop, I thought you never asked." And guess who said that?
Oh, God.
Who?
Mickey James.
Oh,
There
I'm not against Mickey James challenging her.
No. They could have had Jay Cargill versus Mickey James on this show.
Maybe
They could've.
something to come eventually. I don't
No,
know.
if you're gonna book a match like that, that's too big of a match to book on just what 3 days notice.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, they could have. I'm like, they booked other stuff out of nowhere at the last minute.
Yeah,
Like,
but no, I know that, but that doesn't mean they should.
Like, we got Eddie Kingston and CM Punk in their iconic moments.
Aja
And
Khan
that was like a week or so.
Aja Khan is old, but Kuzan, she also is very good in the ring still, and she's very mobile still for her age. I don't know for how much longer, but
if Keiji Muto can still wrestle, and he wrestled for practically 40 damn years, don't talk to me about age. That's all I gotta say.
yeah, no.
All right,
Asia. My point is, you want to give these high profile wins to like Jade, right? So that way you can elevate her stock, keep her on TV, and give her dominant wins against credible names like Asia Khan, like Savannah Evans, like Camille. Even if you want to work out a deal with the NWA to even do a title unification and have Jade somehow come on top, that would be decent, right? That would be really freaking cool. And then it leads to Chris Statlander finally getting the W over Jade Cargill, and then her stock immediately raises up. Just cooling Jade off, right? Because she has nobody else in the actual AEW women's locker room, right? Because she's run through everybody. No, that's not a good excuse. You have a forbidden door,
understand.
Tony. Use it.
Though Bryan Danielson did say something about Jade Cargill and saying that Jade Cargill talked to him about this. Hey Brian, I'm thinking about wrestling in Japan. Then we'll just bring Japan here. Contact Stardom, Tony. I'm sure we can get something.
There's a Stardom talent retiring, Jumbo Princess Hamilka. So, give her one last match against Jade Cargill and see what these two can do. I completely get what you're saying, James. But, again, decisions, booking, negotiations. I can only imagine how far in advance you got to talk to Razi, who, of course, is the guy that leads Stardom. And then you got to negotiate things with Bushi Road. Then you got to look at transportation. There's a lot that goes into this than just us saying a damn name that's off the freaking country.
No, I know, but a lot of the names that I've said are in the country we're in.
True that.
DPW has Sawyer Rex, or did. Savannah Evans works for both DPW and she works for Impact. Those are good names. Those are people that you can have her fight that would actually give her credible recognition.
And by the way, Jade come out during the show, take a microphone, and be like, "I'm not leaving this ring until I have a challenge to defend this title."
And maybe so, but then okay, who's the challenger? Because you can't have it be super big profile because then they have to win against Jade, and you can't have her beat them because then that immediately lowers their stock. But now you're setting yourself up for, okay, we're going to be immediately disappointed because it has to be somebody lower because they're not taking the belt off Jade yet.
Well,
wait. I just had a thought. Couldn't they call Serena D when she came back? Like she wasn't doing anything that could have got her to do a match.
I don't even know what she's been doing at this point since that match.
It's AjaCon. Have I been butchering that bad this entire time?
Yes, you have.
Oh my
I was
god!
wondering if you're going to correct yourself. But
well, I've been doing that for years. I thought that's how it was pronounced. My bad.
But
shit.
Your life is a lie, Jay.
My life is a lie. Sorry.
Oh, good Lord Almighty. Wow, James. Wow. And this is why I'm the play-by-play guy. JJ said, by the way, I've been saying for a while, have Jade cash in the TBS Championship for shot at the Women's Championship. Well, I mean, I don't mind Jamie Hayter taking the head off a bitch, but that's just me. Why were the Deadlock Boys at NXT? Can we talk about that?
Hold on. We'll get. I'll answer that question in a second, but I want to read this question. Did you read the "I'll step up for her"? Because I know exactly what JJ means by that.
I'm trying to avoid innuendo talking with all it's after dark.
We just talked about the fucking innuendo that was that fucking 4-way tag match. And
I want to move on from that. Good grief almighty. If you all want to do something after hours, go visit your local... Never mind. I'm not going there. What y'all do beyond midnight is your business.
I'm actually really glad you didn't finish that sentence.
Me neither. We're actually glad you did not finish that.
Oh, glad, yeah. Okay, anyway.
Thank God. Right to censor, right to censor, right to censor. Lord Almighty,
Warning.
help me.
Fire Lord Tucson channeling his best. Tucson's got his best Steve Harvey impersonation going on in the chat. Pervert podcast, y'all need Jesus. Y'all going to hell. His show
Harvey's
is
a friggin' hypocrite that's going to go to hell first if he's podcasting it. He's the biggest misogynist I've ever heard in my life.
Holy fuck. Wow.
I don't watch Family Feud.
That is fair.
Anyway.
That is fair. Why were the Deadlock Boys at NXT? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, go ahead and talk about that real quick.
Okay, I'll give you the easy answer, Jack. Ready? They wanted a good laugh. That's why. They know this.
Is anyone laughing at the end of it though?
No.
Is anyone laughing?
Dude, I've seen Deadlock Boys talk about wrestling, bro. You have, dude. Some of the most frustrating shows they have laughed hysterically at, bro. James Darnell, John Blood, Tony Pizza Guy, all those motherfuckers. Okay, they laugh like crazy. I remember, I think they watched the Russo show. They spent like 2.5 hours talking about it. And it was one of the most hilarious listens you will ever hear talking about such a shitty wrestling show. It's so funny. And then there was another show that they did I think it may have even been recently. I think it was, yeah, it was very recently. The Raw 2004 Halloween show, or 2005, excuse me, Halloween show. I don't know if anybody fucking remembers that, but that was the show where Stone Cold walked out of the company the second fucking time, and instead of walking out, said, "I had an accident." Because they were going to have him job to Jonathan Coachman at Taboo Tuesday the following night. Bro, they just laughed and just took the piss out of the show just by laughing about it and just having a good laugh with it. That's the best way to deal with shows like that, man. I realized very quickly when I listened to those boys just talk and laugh. They just find that's why I think they went to NXT, Jack. I think they wanted to have a laugh. That's what I think. Either that or they wanted to see, what's his fucking face? The son of Bull Buchanan. That might be why, too. If I know it.
You know your heart, laugh, crown, laugh. There are some people that take the industry as a joke, or they make the industry into a joke when it's already that. I guess Christian Cage is trying to do that with Jungle Boy, saying that he and this entire generation is a joke because they treat it like a video game. Well, in a video game, there's no continues after you're buried alive. As we learn now, it's called the Final Burial. If this is not a buried alive match, I will be extremely surprised because they haven't described it. We just seen a shovel, a gravestone, and a dark pit that I think was filled up.
That was a weird thing. So apparently it's a buried alive match?
It just called the Final Burial.
That's what I'm hearing. Call it the Final Burial.
I'm guessing W copyright. What else could this be besides a buried alive match, for Pete's sake?
A coffin match that's disguised as buried alive?
Coffin match doesn't bury anybody. Just put.
I don't think AEW really wants to talk about doing coffin matches after some idiot on Twitter made a joke about something.
Oh, jeez.
The world is full of that.
Well, yeah, but it's a Darby Allin specialty. Although I'm not.
Oh no, not Darby Allin related. It wasn't Darby Allin related.
Why did somebody do? Well, we'll talk about it off air because I don't want to give them the attention. But I guess somebody.
We don't pay attention to viral diseases, even if one of them exists in WWE and will be on WrestleMania. But I digress. That being said, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, bury your past. All right, move on from Christian Cage and Instant Classic 2.0 Turtleneck because you're gonna go after a singles title. I don't.
Hey, listen, Turtleneck Christian Cage is the best Christian Cage. I don't want to see him go.
Christian Turtleneck Cage.
Christian Turtleneck Cage,
the thing,
baby.
James, if he gets buried in this Final Burial, that might be the last you hear of him for a while. So,
Could you say he'll be holding his last breath, safe inside himself, for all the thoughts of Jack? You get what I'm going?
I see what you did there. But I mean, at this point, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, if he's gonna finally move forward, because I feel that's what Christian Cage has been trying to do with him since Double or Nothing 2021. Yeah, he needs to get the win here, in my opinion. I don't have much more to say.
I agree. Yeah,
definitely 100% needs to win here.
All right,
not at all.
Pretty simple enough. I mean, again, if you can't say buried alive, the Final Burial, at least this tells me that the Final Burial is going to be a definitive thing and not some second coming, you know? So, I mean, again, I'm happy Christian Cage is doing his best work and having a good time and apparently making a lot of bank, according to what he says, milking this industry as much as possible. His bank account continually growing, so good for him. Ultimate opportunities of his own right.
Worked everyone, baby.
Yeah, everyone wins, except in this case. We believe Jungle Boy is going to.
That is true. That is true.
King, I'm going to go ahead and let you have your highlight here, because your boys, the Elite, are defending the Trios Gold against the House of Black, and what I feel is just the start of a story without an ending yet to be foretold. So, unless you have anything else to say about this match, literally made quietly since the House of Black's return, where it was strictly business after the Stupid Stooge was a victim in the act. What do you guys say about the Elite defending the gold against the House of Black?
And this where I felt like there should have been more story added to just basically it all started with Cutler and him getting thrown through the table on Rampage, and then basically it all turned into the Elite is scared of the scared of the dark all of a sudden.
No, they're not.
Stuff like that. But it's like how they're playing it off storyline wise. But this is where Y'all know me. I am an elite, truest through and through. But this
Yes.
one here, I am going to be not an elitist here. This is where I feel like the House of Black needs the win here. Because ever since they've been back, I have been enjoying them being back on TV, and their momentum has been slowly climbing to where, yes, it's good to have, the elites had the trio titles, but I feel like with this like within this though, the House of Black needs it more because I feel like Kenny needs to focus on the singles run and let the Bucks continue to be doing tag team. Let the House of Black continue let the House of Black get the trios titles at Revolution, and just let elite
go ahead
and just let Kenny be Kenny. Let him go on a singles run like what he normally does, and let the Bucks continue to be tag team.
The thing is, the Bucks already were tag team champions. Kenny Omega's IWGP United States champion. They could have literally built this thing out because I thought they were going to push this either out to Battle of the Belts or even Double or Nothing. Maybe that's still the case. I was looking forward more to seeing Kenny Omega defending the IWGP United States Championship against Buddy Matthews because Buddy Matthews is so underrated, and that's a singles match people want to see.
And how is that match not even booked yet? Is my question.
V-Trigger versus V-Trigger.
Yes, it writes itself, yeah.
Kings of the Back Throne versus Young Bucks is what I was figuring as far as the exhibition, and then you build to the trios. Dude, your boys just went for a ridiculous best of 7 series against the Death Triangle. Pac is nowhere to be found, and you're gonna hot potato the trios titles again, just like that.
Just like that, yeah. That
is overdue.
It's
too quick. In my opinion.
You want to know what they could have done to really entice everyone to get more invested in this build?
Go ahead.
They could have one of the House of Black members throw a chair at Nick and crack his eye open.
Oh no! Oh no! Not the backstage brawl out! No.
Let's not.
Look, they already talked about. They already have the biting. They already addressed the biting on TV. They already addressed Punk to an extent on TV after the brawl out. Let's be real. I'm surprised they haven't done the chair yet.
Okay, but if they're gonna do that, though, the more likely match and the match that would draw way more money is it would be the Elite versus FTR and Punk.
Yeah, here's what someone actually pitched regarding that. Considering that Punk keeps doing these weird suggestions on Twitter. On Instagram. I don't know what they ultimately mean. And Kenny Omega coming out and being all mellow about it now.
Understandable. Let's just put it out there. Anyway, continue.
And Kenny being all mellow out about the whole event and saying how he hopes everyone's all right. I was like, okay, this may be your only chance, but if the House of Black are to lose, the only way you can do that is if after the match, you air Punk's little explosive rant on the All Out and then cut his theme music out, and he's back and FTR's by his side, and they're like, we have unfinished business, essentially.
Yeah, and I agree.
I just see a quick. I just see a quick roll up. I don't see this thing ending, and I just don't see the Elite losing right now. It's too soon. It's their second program after the best of 7 series against the Death Triangle. If they're really going to treat this trios division as something with them at the top, there's got to be, I'm not saying the House of Black don't deserve it, there's got to be a reason for the transition. A champion defines the next to lead, not just hot-shotted overnight. And honestly, this match, why slow burn? It literally was booked literally in a span of 2 weeks.
And
that's it.
And let's also bring this into perspective too, King. Like, they don't necessarily need to win. They have enough titles that they could win other gold here. I think this is how you could do it, right? You got the Elite retaining, because they still have unfinished business not only with Punk and FTR, but apparently now they have unfinished business with the United Empire also, probably coming up at Forbidden Door at some point. You know, that's got to happen. That's at some point got to happen. So I think you have to have the trios titles on the line for that. If you want the House of Black to get gold, easy solution, because at this point, unless, at the very least, if you're not going to have FTR come back just yet and you're going to wait a little bit longer, Have them try to go for the tag gold. And then you have Buddy Matthews win the All-Atlantic Championship. Or Malachi Black win the All-Atlantic Championship. That would be the better option for me. I think you know, there's titles there. There's titles they could go for. You know? It doesn't just have to be, okay, we're strictly just gonna be a trio for the rest of their fucking time as they're a trio. You know, they could go for other belts too.
I'm just glad the House of Black's actually in a program. If you're facing the Elite, I just don't see
but
you
ever since they've been back with the momentum they've, you know, trying to get, do you really think a big loss would be worth it for the House of Black since they've been back?
Yeah, but is it worth? But here's the problem: is it worth it for the Elite after just doing a best of 7 series? I'll admit, which we will say is to the fault of everybody involved in that backstage fucking scrum, but. No use crying over fucking spilt milk now. Are we really gonna fucking just halt their momentum that they just literally got back?
Could this
it's a no-win situation here.
Yeah, could this match end a disqualification just to protect both here and set something up further down the line? I mean, seriously. This should not be a
I might have
championship.
an idea. I might have an idea.
Go ahead.
Soon. Go ahead, Eric.
This might be a little off-the-wall idea. What if how about the Elite do lose the match, but it's because of Punk? They air the promo in the middle of the match that Punk cut at the All Out scrum, and Punk and FTR, the lights go out, they pop in, and they beat the holy hell out of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. The House of Black get the victory, and instead of having the trios title be on the line, they do this. FTR wins the AEW tag team belts from the Gun Club because that's the clear end goal.
Right.
And they put that title on the line, and Kenny puts on the IWGP US title on the line.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And whoever wins is winner takes all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
That was just off the wall
I like that idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and I mean, Jeff Cobb, he said that he would come to AEW eventually.
Hey, Tony, if you go with this idea, I demand $10 million.
All right, stop it, royalty man. All right. Not even Smart Mark Sterling's going to get
$10 million? $10 million.
I get
this state of inflation.
Okay, James, you're right. $100 million.
Oh
no!
All right, this guy wants.
Okay, fine. I'll at least just ask 25% of the cut. The money, the match makes the money off.
25, dude. 15 at least. 15 at least.
Okay, fine. 15. I'll go with 15.
Okay. Good.
I was about to say,
but he still owes me $500,000 for the Swerve in Our Glory tag team.
$500,000.
Mark Sterling. $500,000. Keep dreaming. Just saying.
$500,000. Oh, Kilo, I don't believe what he just said. Oh,
you know what?
I know he's joking, but he's not going to let it go.
No, he's not. And just to put this into song references, the Elite may come out to carry on. Eric, I'm just going to tell you, Aerosmith, Dream On.
You want to know what I always thought about doing one time when AEW ever does a show here?
Go ahead.
What?
I was honestly debating, hey, maybe I should make my own shirt where I say, pay NRE his money, TK.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you it will not show up on camera.
No, it will not.
Even on hard cam.
Then I will just turn around and say, I made Swerve in Our Glory, pay me.
This guy is trying to make sure that he is the reason why some of the best stuff in television has happened. That being said, let's go ahead and briefly talk about the king of television himself.
Good segue.
Yes.
As James is super giddy to see if this guy becomes the undisputed king of all things television.
Besides NWA, because fuck that, as we have established.
All right, calm down.
Oh, wait, I just had a thought.
Go ahead.
Hey, man, we never have we ever gotten Zack Sabre Jr. versus Samoa Joe winner take all?
No, that's why I wanted to happen at Forbidden Door.
I demanded then.
Yes, I do too.
You're literally thinking like this man, so I don't even need to ask what he's going to pick as far as Samoa Joe defend the TH champion against Wardlow with a winner.
Like, I know Wardlow's probably going to win, but let's be real, I don't want to drink for that.
No, I've already seen a spoiler. I'm not, of course, spoiler free, but I've already seen it. And
Okay, yeah. Okay, no. King of Television.
Let's be honest here. Joe is working triple duty next week. Sunday, he's defending the TNT champion against Wardlow. After that, if he successfully retains, he will be defending that TNT championship against Powerhouse Hobbs. Then after that, on Thursdays, Ring of Honor. Yes, I know we're free turn. Hashtag spoiler free. On the Ring of Honor's next episode next week, Samoa Joe's in action, and chances are he's going to be defending the Ring of Honor Television Championship against former TV champion Tony Deppen. Does Samoa Joe still work between both ecosystems as the king of television when all this is said and done? Or does he finally settle down and just defines himself only in Ring of Honor? Or maybe it is only in AEW.
No,
question.
Please let him be both, man. Please.
Here's the thing, though. Samoa Joe isn't going to slow down. He's King Shark is a shark in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game. He's also going to be in Twisted Metal on Peacock, which is ironic in all of the ways.
Right? Really?
Yeah. Huh. He was also temporarily on the Game of Thrones universe as a big guy in the Telltale games. That's canon to the Game of Thrones TV show. So he can at least say he made his Game of Thrones before anyone else.
Yeah, you probably could make a better ending out of that than the actual series, but I digress. Continue.
Oh no, they never made a sequel because Telltale Games went out of business afterwards.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyway,
yeah. no, that does raise a question though. Why hasn't Samoa Joe mentioned all that stuff he's been in to justify I am the king of television? I am Twisted Metal. I am the King Shark. I am on Game of Thrones.
Really take it overboard. Start dressing like a Hollywood Rock from like 2003. Oh my God, I would love it.
All right,
I would love it.
The king of television gimmick is focusing on the wrestling, and he is
not
right now
just
the
champion, but he's
AEW. Let's be honest.
I don't know, man. King's got a point, and now you just not only is he the king of television, sounds like he's the king of media. I know I'm booking a very crazy
and you want
idea.
this guy to have the NJPW World Television Championship.
I have the perfect scenario. Hear me out, right? Okay, so you book at Multiverse United coming up soon. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Joe Hendry for the Impact Digital Media and New Japan World Television titles, right?
Oh, no.
And a combat match. Zack Sabre wins, right? And he wins
on the Dreamcast again.
Maybe not a Dreamcast, but maybe he gets a better console to use as like a submission move or something, and he makes
Atari 2600, the joystick.
There you go, the Atari 2600. That would be perfect, right? And he gets the win, and he gets both titles. And then you have the winner-take-all scenario. Who is the true king of media? And it's Zack Sabre Jr.
Joe has a title over each shoulder and a title around his waist.
Yes. Not only a title. Hear me out.
We go further.
Zack Sabre Jr. gets both the digital media and television title for New Japan.
Oh, crap, that's right.
And they go into a winner-take-all scenario with the Impact Digital Media title also, so that way Joe can win all of it, and he can be the undisputed king of media.
Why do you keep trying
No,
James, because fucking Joe deserves it after being misutilized for fucking years, okay?
True. But, James, you forgot one important one.
Go ahead.
He should honestly give NWA their biggest relevance yet. Go take their TV title and have it around his neck.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess if we're really gonna go full on with it, fine, I'll allow it. But fuck me, change that stupid 605 rule, please. Change it. 1605. I'll allow 1605.
1605.
It's at least 10 minutes fucking extra than what they do on television each week.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so
I'm so old that the Atari 2600 was my first console, says JJ in the chat. Oh shit!
It's a classic. It is a classic. I'm a retro gamer. It's a classic.
Bro,
the company almost destroyed the gaming industry at that point.
Bro, I love Namco Museum for that reason, bro. I get to play Pac-Man and shit. I love it.
I just randomly was sitting on my futon playing Dig Dug, and I got freaking 75,000 points at 2023. What the hell am I on?
Bro, you should have done a Let's Play of that shit, man.
Me streaming Let's Plays in 2023, dude. I have not enough time as it is with my actual job.
That's
You kidding me?
fair. That's fair. To be fair,
That Twitch thing was just a pandemic thing to avoid losing my sanity, and Crash Bandicoot 4 made me almost lose something else. Anyway, that's old news. Go watch that in the archives on my Twitch channel if it still exists. And Foster 1916-25. Anyway, okay, so James and Eric King believe that Samoa Joe will try and take over the world of television in all things wrestling. Do you agree, or do you believe Wardlow is going to get some revenge here?
No, Wardlow will try, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Wardlow actually has to go into the main event soon to have a storyline with Max, and Double or Nothing is around the corner. Just putting that out there.
1 year ago, everybody knows about what happened a year ago. I mean, 1 year later, we're circling back around.
Yeah, clearly.
So
that's why I think he's not winning. I think he'll put the fight to Wardlow, but he's not winning.
But can you justify Wardlow being part of the main event on another TNT title loss? Last time I checked, you lose a mid-card title, you're sent further down. You're not catapulted up.
That is true.
Yeah, but in this case, Wardlow just needed something to do, like a really serious feud, which he's had with Joe, to be fair, and in order to hold him up until he can get the next shot against MJF. My thing is, the way you could tie every bow that you could possibly tie, have MJF and Samoa Joe have some sort of alliance like they did in NXT.
Okay, that doesn't really count if it's just him being bullied by as a security
Yes,
guy.
yes, but it goes back full circle because now Joe could portray as Max's new security.
He's not gonna do that.
He'll do it.
With
enough money, he'll fucking do it.
No. Portray him as Mafia Hitman.
Yeah. Shit.
Like Triple H used him at first when he debuted.
Yeah, but
and broke Seth Rollins' leg again.
In TNA, but Joe works for nobody. Joe works for himself.
Joe works for himself, but whoever pays the most money, he'll work for. He's even said that
by the way,
himself.
guys, I just wanted to bring this up. I know we talked about Samoa Joe being on Twisted Metal TV show on Peacock, which is ironic in and of itself, considering WWE is not going to get a thing out of that. Right. Yeah, he's playing Sweet Tooth.
Yeah. What a fitting character. True Samoa Joe form. The killer. The psychotic killer.
Shout out to Joe being the absolute undisputed king of media, man. Now get the belts to prove it. That's all I'm gonna say. All hail the king.
He needs to be on Disney. He needs to get on Disney Plus.
Can he fucking? I know we love that King Khan intro, but for one fucking pay-per-view, if he does win all the gold, can he come out to avenge sevenfold hail to the king? I will lose my shit.
Yes.
This boy is booking something that's more dangerous than anything I figure right now in the wrestling industry.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Damn it, James! You freaking idiot!
Or am I a genius?
You know,
up to interpretation.
Yeah, about to say that's up to interpretation. I don't know if people think you are mad, if you are creative, if you truly are cynical, or if you're truly entertaining. But
yes.
That being said,
the correct answer is yes.
I don't know. Magic 8 Ball, what do you tell me? Ask again later.
Depends on the day.
That did nothing.
Depends on the day.
That's the usual answer to those type of questions. Anyway, what's worse, Noah? Wardlow losing now or him winning the belt, then losing it a month later at Battle of the Belts, then trying to move it to the main event picture.
Exactly my point.
Again, I keep saying it. I feel like AEW have booked themselves in a corner with a double-edged sword right now. And the only one that's truly going to be protected is Samoa Joe because he's still going to have a title. Wardlow's fighting on behalf of his father and pride. Can he eat two losses in a row against the same person versus winning and maybe losing it to Powerhouse Hobbs, who it looks like they're trying to build finally something out of this Book of Hobbs gimmick.
Well,
it's almost like no matter what, you can't have Hobbs lose, but who loses to Hobbs? Who's basically going to lose?
You know what, though?
Someone's losing.
I have a thing that I didn't even consider, though. Consider this. Revolution... We're talking about Double or Nothing. The feud has to continue between Max and Wardlow, but we're not even considering where this feud officially started. It was 1 year ago on the show.
Yep, when he took that ring and told MJF to shove it. Oh, here it is, CM
Guess
Punk.
what?
KO.
We know how vindictive Max is, and that motherfucker don't forget.
True. But he already put
Very
more
true.
through hell, and we saw what happened. Would he want to, unleash more hell on him when he's got to deal with the American Dragon? Where is MJF's mind right now? Also, just saying, we're not even at that yet. But as far as this goes, again, this one, maybe just go to a 20-minute draw. I don't freaking know. I'm kind of torn now on this. Between Hobbs, the TNT, and the Ring of Honor television, Wardlow, in my opinion, though, can't lose if he's going to have any credibility in any time soon to challenge MJF, possibly, or challenge in general the champion at Double or Nothing. He has to have a streak. He has to have momentum. And they're not going to do some bizarre number one contendership, I feel like, because they've finally thrown the ranking system. You know this. They've finally thrown the ranking systems out the window.
Really?
At this point,
They kind of did before All Out, because the injuries plagued the company, and then they were like, okay, we can't really fix that because injuries happen.
No, but but injuries happen all the time in UFC. That's why the money match fights are a thing. That's why they exist. You don't get rid of the ranking system
really
because
anticipated the amount of people that got hurt in that span of time.
Yeah, but you don't get rid of it because the fucking spanner's been thrown to works. You just adjust the system accordingly.
I honestly thought they were going to bring it back after a reboot for this year.
I'm surprised they haven't. I mean, they still talk about the win-loss records. They're obviously tracking them, with John Moxley now being the first guy with 100.
That's my point. So, why are we not doing something there? Like, why are we just gonna completely throw it away? Like, UFC doesn't. UFC may do money fights, or MMA in general may do money fights, but they still go by the rankings too. It depends on the day. If the rankings are fucked up because of USADA drug tests or an injury or whatever, okay, then, let's get a money fight in there if we can't do that match. Boxing's doing it right now. They're all about money fights, for crying out loud, but they still go by rankings and stuff.
Hey, look, I can at least say this. Jake Paul lost.
Yeah,
Hooray!
fucking yes.
That's one name that
God bless Tommy Fury, by the way. God bless Tommy Fury, by the way.
Who, Tommy Fury? Who's Tommy Fury?
Tommy Fury's the one who beat Jake Paul.
Oh, I thought you were making a botch saying Tyson Fury or something.
No. Yeah, that's...
No, I think that's his brother.
Yeah, that's his brother.
Oh,
Tommy Fury.
Okay, gotcha.
Now we just need to hope Seth Rollins beats the living hell out of Logan Paul and his crypto scams.
Oh, for the love of God. They're going to have Miz in freaking Logan Paul's corner because he's the host of WrestleMania. That's going to put butts in seats. What if Wardlow wins the belt, and then instead of challenging Max, Wardlow attacks Bryan, helping MJF retain, and they reunite? And then Wardlow's just a turncoat at this point. I mean, again, book themselves in the corner. Wardlow can't go back to his past, but Wardlow, if he's going to have any momentum, he can't take another loss in this short span since he just came back. So, again, JJ, I don't know. I'm fickle. But I do think that Wardlow is going to win here. I think they're going to focus Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor. I really do. The Darby Allin thing was inaudible because he was off doing something else Tony Hawk related. Now, what did he mean when Sting and him said they're going to go down a blaze of glory? Who the heck knows? Hopefully it doesn't mean drive a car off a canyon. But anyway, we'll see.
I'm pretty sure, if I had to guess, if Darby Allin is referencing what I think he's referencing, he and Sting are going to go ahead and charge into a massive conglomerate corporations building and raise hell. Cyberpunk reference.
Nice. Well, I mean, if they're gonna raise hell, all they have to do is just break into the game layer that they're making the AEW video game, and then just make that a glitzy match, just like Cyberpunk was, which none of us want. But that would get them great heat.
Yeah, but you want to know what Kenny Omega's already doing that with his insanity. You want to know what he managed to get in the game?
Go ahead.
What?
Well, one, good news. They finally gave it a rating, rated teen for teens. So it looks like the game is going to be announced for a release date sooner than later. Yay.
Gaming culture.
And
continue.
I was just wondering, Kenny Omega, if you're watching this somehow, do you want to bring Molotov cocktails into AEW now?
The fuck?
Wait, did he?
Yeah, because
kid you not. No, kid you not. Weapons, like when they do the weapons, when you see a weapon on you, or whatever match type you do, there is Molotov cocktails
on
in
fire.
that weapon wheel on the AW Fight Forever game.
What fucking weapon suggestions did he get this shit from? Nick fucking Gage? Like,
That
what the
or
hell?
GTA.
Molotov
We're gonna go
cocktails.
grab that bottom 5 on this thing.
This is
And-
not
Aw,
arcade
shit. Here we go
wrestling.
again.
This is something I was not expecting. But
Molotov
Well,
that's a choice.
on the PlayStation store, when you type in AEW Fight Forever, the genre did say 3D fighting. So take it for what you will.
So they're taking that literally, and I guess they're well, yeah, but that's something straight out of Matt Dickey's fucking Wrestling Empire. Fucking
Yeah,
Molotov
Where
cocktail.
he got it from?
Molotov cocktail.
all the references, all the weird video game references here.
Oh, by the way, they announced there's another new pro wrestling game being made.
Mm-hmm.
A what?
Yeah, there's another pro wrestling game being made.
If it's Retromania
Besides
2, it's NWA related. I'm
Or
not
the wrestling,
interested.
or besides the
No,
wrestling
no, it's
code
called
and-
Ultra Pro Wrestling.
The hell's that?
I've heard of that actually.
What's that?
Yeah.
It's they had this plan. They got over $20,000 for their Kickstarter. Basically, it's a love letter to a game called the '90s Ultra Pro Wrestling game. It's a sandbox game that encourages players to create, edit their own wrestling superstars, promotion events, fight for the UPW Championship, and ranked online matches, or play through a multitude of matches and yada yada yada, and
All the
like a
typical
whole bunch of insane
wrestling
stuff.
expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in fact,
Alright.
even from their presentation they showed, it looks like a Wrestling Empire.
I mean, again, you draw your inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
how many-
they did say what they're going to base this off on, because this is now a recurring theme. They're going to base it off of No Mercy, NWO, WCW Revenge, because
All the
that's now
classics.
popular again.
all the classics, all the finest wrestling games you can remember, all the classics.
Well, that's because the codes for those games are now out in the general public thanks to the modding community, but okay.
Yay.
Yeah, but all code is just a manipulation away from being turned into a mod, and boom, you got a video game.
That's true.
How many side scrollers? Welcome to ATW Gaming Feature. How many side
Again?
scrollers are based off Double
Again?
Dragon, Streets of Rage,
True.
freaking insert title here, where you're literally just side scrolling and just pushing a button countless times, beating an enemy with a figurative health bar just to get to the end and beat up another bigger enemy, and then you end the stage and you're 10 or 11 stages later in the game. I mean, seriously, Double Dragon wrote the book on that. Am I wrong?
You know, maybe we got it all wrong. Maybe the AEW game shouldn't have been called Fight Forever. Maybe it should have just been called Square Circle Beat 'em Up.
I'm not sure. Square Circle beat him up.
Square Circle beat 'em up.
Also, you want to know what they also mentioned in their rated teen for teen rating besides, Molotov cocktails?
Oh, go ahead.
They also decided to go ahead and say they have buddy outfits. So Noah, your fantasy
Oh
gets to
no!
collide.
Oh no! Oh no!
Eric?
Now
they
the question
also
is.
mentioned-
Now the question is. Besides Pizza and Allie, how many other bunnies is Noah gonna make on his AEW Fight Forever video game?
Fuck, man.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You
On
wanna know
this game, whatever this game is.
Wait. James. You want to know what Noah could do?
Go ahead.
If they make this a live service game and they keep making updates to it and they add their own version of GM, Noah could find his own little AEW promotion called All Bunnies Wrestling.
Oh no! Oh no!
ABW.
Dude, I don't think I could handle that. I don't think Noah could even bring himself to do that, bro. That would
Why
be,
are you trying? Why are you trying to put the Fibonacci code in a freaking wrestling video game, Eric? Why?
Well, we can go. I could go darker. I could go dark if I want.
No, we're not going- we're not
don't you
going
dare!
darker.
No.
We are not going darker. I will cut you off
Besides,
this
no.
feed.
At least you're handling this. At least you're handling this better than one guy who really wanted to see bunny girls.
Well, there are people that are also wrong in this world, and that's a
Okay.
whole different conversation.
Wait, who are you even referring to now?
Okay, there was an
Right.
incident during the height of the pandemic during the height of the pandemic in China, which
Oh God.
and some guy was so mad at this video game company based in China saying, we cannot provide bunny girl outfits in our video game because China's rules and laws. So he decided to travel from one end of China all the way to the other to prepare for a murder-suicide spree for bunny girls.
For bunny? Oh, that guy was fucked in the head. Well, fuck him.
Oh my God in heaven!
Jesus.
What is wrong in this world,
bro? It ain't that serious. You just
this was over bunny girls, digital bunny girls over a mobile video game.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna get into this conversation.
I'm not even gonna get into this. I'm just gonna say this: there's more to life than mac and cheese and living in your mom's basement, doing things with yourself in the dark. That's all I gotta say. All right, so
wait. I have to read this. I have to read this because JJ is adding to this fucking funniness a little bit here.
Wait,
is
JJ?
Is Noah going to make a virtual bunny ranch?
JJ, I see you on open mic night. Don't start something.
JJ, James. This is what Noah should do when he eventually gets the AEW Fight Forever video game.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Noah.
He creates himself in the video game. He creates himself in the video game with the create a wrestler feature, and he basically become and if they're able to add that, say, and the bunny girl's personal pet.
What? No, man, I gotta cut you off there. Even that's even too far for me.
Whoa.
Okay, guys, you're right. We should add a dog collar for it.
No! Stop it.
Oh, God.
Well, it is fucking 2:10 a.m.
I am this fucking close from cutting you off this feed.
It's not me.
I swear in everything, pure in my soul.
It's all him.
That was not me. That was not me at all. Jesus
You
Christ.
all need to freaking grow the F up.
Bro,
in taking this freaking part of me way out of context. Beyond any
I'm not taking you that out of context. Bro, I know you're a simp for the bunnies. I know you're not that much of a simp. Don't fucking point the finger at me here.
This boy's the simp for Russian beauties. This boy's the simp for Australians, and I have no idea what sort of simp you are, Eric. And JJ's a simp for the biggest bitch in the industry.
Listen, why are you pointing the blame at us when it's all on him?
Because you all are freaking misconstruing women in wrestling once again. And who the hell came up with the term simp anyway? Learn how to read a damn dictionary. This is part of the reason why everybody communicates with fucking emojis and freaking letters for a paragraph, because you all can't write a damn paper for your life. This is why America is the dead in the world.
I was trying to just make a joke. It wasn't. I wasn't going the goddamn dog collar route. Sorry.
Me neither. That was all on Eric, dude.
Look, it was either the dog collar joke, or I would say Bunny dangles a carrot at him.
Dominatrix rip-off of the Matrix here, produced by Eric of Neo Reality Entertainment on your local Adult Swim. Fuck that.
Oh my God, I can't breathe.
God.
Holy shit. I missed this show.
This thing with triple X, not rated R, because you guys literally have no sense of control.
That's not my, what do you mean? Yeah, thank you. I have control somewhat, and so does King. Chill.
Control. I'll give you that much credit.
Chill, man.
Thank you, man. Chill.
Don't blame us, bro. Fucking Eric. God damn it, you bastard.
All
right. Anyway.
I am the agent of chaos. You've already declared me that.
That's fair. Anyway.
This is why the ATW View is literally called impromptu in all bold letters. Lord help us all, and Lord help my blood pressure.
Hey, we went way off the rails, of course.
Yeah, that was in the weeds.
Since we're talking about Noah's disturbing fixation for fantasy and whatnot, we can talk about Bryan Danielson and his horny ways.
No.
Well,
since he wants to go ahead and have the main event open the show and everything.
No, at this point, like I said, finally going back on wrestling. Good sub-tangent for once. There's no way they're not ending this pay-per-view with anything less than the freaking main event. But that being said, Eric's trying to bring his own source and own form of entertainment. Let's see if Chris Jericho can do that against Ricky Starks, where we wonder if sports entertainment wants to get overcomes professional wrestling now that JS is banned from ringside. Unless you got Captain Insano go heel for the 698th time in his career.
Well, I mean, Jericho was trademarked.
Was
so
it?
I'm just saying. Yes, Jericho was trademarked by Jericho.
Oh, no. No. Damn it, no.
It's time for the big turn.
Well, new room, new shoes.
Oh, for the love of God.
I
And
mean, JS is banned
myself.
from ringside, but that doesn't mean that Paul White has to come in and have Jericho get the win. Like I said, Jericho was trademarked a few weeks ago
So
by
I was
Jericho
right.
himself.
So I was right. The Jericho Priest Society is the new NWO. Everyone's going to join it, basically. That's basically what's going to happen.
By the way, if you all want to join us that are that are still left in the live chat, you could submit your forms right here on the Google form that Noah did ages ago. So there you go there. But yeah,
ages ago.
I forgot why I even did that thing at this point anymore. But
yeah, same.
Because of Eric's
hell. Look, Ricky Stark needs to get away from what's becoming the Jericho vortex, as Warren politely put it. Shout out to Warren Hayes, fun individual. Yeah. Why would Ricky Starks not win this? Do you really want this fan to go out one more time? Do we need a trilogy in the Jericho Society against Ricky Starks at this point? Can we get absolute resolution at Revolution? Is that too much to ask?
We'll see. I don't know what the hell.
We'll see about that.
With that.
We'll see. Like I said, I mean, JS is banned from ringside, but I mean, if Jericho was trademarked, then that should give you.
Listen, man.
Right
there baseball bat's not a human.
Hey, listen. If Jericho might be coming back, also, you got to also consider this. We're not even considering the fact that Action Andretti could still be a turncoat, also. So.
True, that is also true.
I'm just saying. He was very complimentary on Rampage a couple weeks ago, so.
We don't need a version of the NWO in AEW. There's already freaking 8 members.
You do.
A stupid bucket hat
you
in the Jericho Society.
But you kind of do if you're doing a spoof of sports entertainment.
Okay, so this is that. So this is not the next. This is not the NWO. This is the Nexus. Got it.
Well, it's a hybrid. You know, just consider. You know, you got Jake Hager. He's like the modern day Virgil. It's fine.
Dang.
Well, at least he's got a gimmick. That's over.
He does
because he likes his purple bucket hat.
He likes this hat.
Stupid hat. That's all I gotta say about that. Stupid
Orange Cassidy. Orange Cat loved that hat. He's like, nice hat. There you go.
Whatever. I like Mountain Dew. Don't see me trying to turn into a trademark.
Anyway, what else we got on this card?
Let's go ahead and talk about the Women's World Championship, as Jamie here is going to hit 2 bitches hard. One of them is not named Jade Cargill, but they're named Ruby Soho and Saraya, who has got clowns to the left of her, jokers to the right, and she is stuck in the middle, but at least she's focused on the prize. Does anything get determined here as far as Ruby Soho's stance, or is Ruby Soho just going to continue to be the runaway that stands alone? Not Batista. And Saraya wants to make this her house. Is she the one that needs the pin? Are we developing to Saraya versus Jamie Hayter? Does Dynamite Baker DMD come into play at all? Tony Storm, Willow Nightingale, do you develop Blood and Guts? Again, triple threat. Why is it triple threat instead of singles? Buffer, Fall Person, The Future, Battle of the Belts. Thunder Rosa comes back from injury, maybe. Another surprise. Ty Mello, Anna J, who's been MIA. All I know is Jamie Harris is the most predominant.
Yeah, Ty is injured.
Ty and Anna are injured, by the way.
They're not cleared yet.
Oh wow, they got it. I know what the fuck probably caused Anna's injury.
Unfortunately, oh my god,
what happened to Ty? I thought Ty took a fine. I thought Ty was safely protected.
Let me check.
But the leg injury, I thought her. I did see her any noticeable injuries during that.
I think it was. I forgot what.
I know. Anna Jay's had to have been a concussion of some kind. I mean, it had to.
So, according to
Sammy,
apparently, according to the multiple doctor, she said it has been since the street fight where she suffered bulging discs in her
Oh
back.
no!
Back protrusions.
Oh no! Oh, there goes
God.
my idea for blood and guts. Then, oh.
Well, at least
Oh,
those two
but
being
I got
involved.
good news. She said she will be cleared in the next couple of weeks or so.
Oh, okay. What about Anna? What was Anna's injury? Concussion?
Jay,
I would assume so, but we might as well double check that just to be safe.
Yeah, might as well.
let me double check.
Dude, the reason why I need to know is because I've been pitching for the longest time on AEW Spark and other platforms on FTW that and elsewhere also that Jade Cargill, listen to me. The JAS girls should join up with Paige, Soraya, and Ruby turns heel and joins with them, right? And then you have the other 5, the babyface team, go and be Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, Willow Nightingale, and Thunder Rosa. Because that would make all the sense in the world, I think, anyway.
Hikaru Shida's literally been the one looking on from the outside. I mean, again, she was involved in this whole thing, really kicked off with
exactly.
Okay, I got the update.
By the way.
Wait, say that
I got
again,
the update on Anna Jay.
I said,
so it wasn't a concussion.
Wait, hold on, King.
Hold on. Let's get the update from Anna Jay from Eric, and then King, you can talk about Shida. Eric, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
It wasn't the concussion that James thought. No, it turns out when that move where she overshot the table they were meant to go through and hit the floor, she dislocated her ribs.
Oh, Jesus! How long is she out?
No idea.
Well, I just hope that she's breathing properly at this point.
Dude, that's Jack Perry, poor guy.
Just starting her career, might I add.
Yikes.
Yeah, so far no update on when she'll be back. She said she dislocated her ribs on Twitter when someone asked what happened to her. Wow. And yeah, she doesn't have a bruised tailbone or anything, but she just said I did those dislocated ribs. Not fun.
Well, one thing's for sure, she's never going to be breathing the same way again. I wish her all the best. Again, people that do this for our engagement, not just entertainment. This is their livelihood, their choice, their passion, the thing they want to maybe, fall back on as this is what I want to do for a living, not just for money, as we've seen now with certain people. But what you do with yourselves in this, again, every match, every spot, you take a high risk, and this was a street fight, and Anna Jay took one of the biggest risks I've seen in a long time, particularly in the AEW division.
That's crazy. Yeah, get well soon, Anna Jay and Tay Conti, even though Tay Conti is on her way back to being well. That was a brutal street fight, to be fair, and that was a very scary spot that Anna had.
It was. We saw the over exertion, and of course, Anna Jay coming back from a shoulder injury. She was just developing her character, even if it was a bit annoying, in Japanese society, and now she's got to worry about recovering back from this. Just
that was rough.
What you got, King? You were talking about Shida. You had an update on her.
I said, I was like, oh, has anyone heard or seen Shida as a lady?
No, that's
Tokyo.
That might be why. Yeah, that might be why. So she's going to be out for a little bit, but then when you bring her back, that'll be right in time for Blood and Guts, probably.
I think she still has that Ribbon or Regina D-Wave championship, if I remember correctly, too.
That's right. Yeah, she is a champion for that also.
What's up, Eric?
Hikaru Shida is still recovering from a recent finger injury, and she recently traveled back to Japan.
So there you go.
Okay.
Black gloves, there you are.
There you go.
Well, and update on Layla Hirsch.
Ooh!
Oh, what's good?
Her recovery from her knee surgery from last year in May was stated to be slowly getting there, and she's recently resumed in-ring training. Chris Statlander has been reportedly backstage in several AEW shows the last few weeks.
Must have heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
but unfortunately, AEW officials reportedly still expect her to be out of action for a while due to the nature of it.
Well, of course.
Yeah, no shit.
And Scorpio Sky might be injured, but no update on him on that.
He has been injured, but they also are gonna wait.
I'm pretty sure both Scorpio Sky and Miro are clear, but
Miro update on Miro. There was an update on Miro. He's reportedly was like, basically, just to give a quick dramatization of it. Hey, Tony, do you have any ideas for me? No. Okay, then I'll stay home.
Again, if the worst thing about the biggest companies in the industry, if they don't have anything creative for you, you're basically just sitting getting a paycheck in catering, and who wants to do that?
At least he's allowed to Twitch.
That is true.
True that.
So now he's getting paid.
Very true.
Real quick, back to the match because we haven't even.
Yeah, the women's triple threat. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, you all really think Jamie Hayter's losing the gold?
No way.
No.
No way.
Yeah.
No
all right,
way.
move on.
If anything, the only thing that's going to happen in that match, besides hopefully a good match, is that Ruby Soho will choose, and it will probably be after Jamie Hayter wins. We'll choose her side.
After she pins her, probably, because Soraya's the newest kid on the block.
Yeah.
That and also people have been pointing out about the brawl she had recently on Dynamite, saying it was terrible, and it was like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, also think they don't want to risk headshotting her neck.
Right. True.
Do we need
And no
to
one
go
seems
back?
to be acknowledging that anymore. In fact, everyone seems to be hating Soraya lately ever since the Steve Carrier feud with RSN about her boyfriend or something. I don't know the full details on that.
Nonsense.
What is
ever since that, everyone's
earlier.
kind of started hating Soraya and saying she's the worst thing to happen.
James said earlier, leave the memories alone. Move on from the past. It is what
No,
it was.
not Alberto, her current boyfriend.
No, I know, but who gives a shit?
But still, bullshit. That's all it is. It's just straight up internet bullshit, and that's the problem with the industry. Well, not the only problem, as I freaking had a rant about, and don't send me down that freaking train again. Anyway, yeah, Jamie Hayter's not losing the gold. It's too soon. The biggest money program out right now, AEW, Multiverse Killer. It's just a matter of when. If it's double or nothing, considering Britt Baker was the very first signing, I feel that would be fitting. But again, maybe that is also too soon because they are slow.
I did remember something.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Has anyone noticed that Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter are missing someone?
Yes, Rebel. Not Reba.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh my God!
Yeah,
what happened to her?
Oh, you will not believe what AEW said reportedly. What was reported what AEW thought about Rebel still being with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter when they turned face.
That's such a stupid reason, too. Go ahead.
They basically said this. We don't think Rebel would fit with a face Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, even though Rebel is very lovable for people, but we feel like we should separate her from the group for a while, unless they go villainous.
Can you make rants? Because this is your girl.
What?
I
got no words. I don't got no words.
King is very flabbergasted.
Well, I mean, Rebel, again, respect Rebel, not Reba.
Now
that's bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah, this is what Dave Meltzer said. So take it with a grain of salt. Rebel is no longer being.
I gotta take that shit with a cup of salt, not a grain. Continue.
Rebel is no longer being used. We were told that Baker and Hayter are as babyfaces now. They felt she didn't work as part of that act at this point in time.
That's stupid. That's just downright stupid.
Can I ask this though? Okay, so that's fine, but you have that fucking thing with the Elite. Explain that one. That makes zero sense to me.
Wait, which thing are we talking about? Cyrus the Virus?
We're talking about current Don Callis. He's a face technically by proxy, but he's a heel manager in the way he acts, right?
That is true too.
So why
that is true?
Okay, it's not there. I will say at least she's not doing nothing because she's like the makeup artist. But still, the fuck.
Yeah, still, yeah. Well, I mean, again, she's still technically signed on AEW, active competitor. When was her last
Yeah,
match?
she's still signed.
Yeah, but still, come on, man. That's ridiculous. All right. I mean, heck, there's your way to even up the numbers. Even if she can't do a whole lot in ring, that's still another body. So, I mean, just saying. Again, AEW needs to figure out the women's division because right now that is where they're kind of missing something.
Oh, and they're about to lose Vicky Guerrero.
Oh, yeah, but that's not till 2023. They got bare time.
That's not till June or July of 2023.
So, I'm about to say, is losing Vicky Guerrero actually a bad thing?
Well, I mean, no, I mean but it's not. I wouldn't say it's a great thing. I mean, she was fine. She was fine.
Yeah,
She
she
was
was all right. I
alright.
mean, manager role, but it's like she's had this disgruntlement. I feel at times with the dynamic of her and Nyla Shafir or Emmy and Nyla.
I think that's the problem. Is she needs to get away
Yep.
from Nyla. I think she needs to get away from Emmy. I think Emmy and Nyla are fine on their own. Marina Shafir, I don't give a shit. Release her.
Marina's
right.
just-
We've already heard your
yeah.
rants about that.
But
so, I mean,
with my thing is like she should be managing Los Ingonables. Is that just me? Or at
He
least in
was
some
initially,
regard.
remember, with Andrade, and then they just broke up.
Yes.
I feel like Roosh would lose his damn mind.
Yeah. Cool. It's business.
You want Roosh to be even more angry that he might.
Yeah, hey, if he gets angry over Vicky Guerrero, then it might actually get him some wins in kayfabe. So the more she annoys Roosh, the more wins he gets. It's reverse psychology.
Oh, to be fair, it is the annoying nature of Vicky Guerrero that once got her literally managing multiple-time world champions.
Excuse me.
Hearing that live, I still remember it to this
Yeah, I heard it
day.
live too, and
It never gets.
You don't
Oh my
forget
God.
that.
Yeah, it doesn't get
Dog-
any easier on the ears, to be honest.
Dogs are out. Dogs are howling. Good Lord Almighty. That is one voice that you hear it once, you don't forget it.
No. Anyway, what are we?
Stuck with you.
Where are we
yeah,
at this fucking predictions at this point? Where are we?
He was at the
Yeah,
women. We were talking about the
AEW.
women's match, and we were talking about Vicky Guerrero after the women's match. Like,
Well, I mean, technically that's a woman as well. That's not an active competitor.
We talked
but
about how we know Jamie Hayter's not going to lose the title. Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
she
Okay.
was
So
fine.
next match. Let's get to the next match.
Next
Let's
match.
rapid
don't
fire.
worry, guys. You only got 2 matches left, and like I said, I feel the 2 most important matches on the card. So if everyone wants to start talking about this one, go ahead. Texas Death Match, John Moxley, Hangman Adam Page.
Hangman-
Has to be the final.
Hangman Adam Page, because it's the final one, and this feud is going to be done by this point. This is the blow off here.
Do you think John Moxley goes on vacation?
Yes, he should.
Finally.
He should.
I feel like he's the hardest working man at AEW.
Hey,
He
listen,
needs one.
Renee-
He deserves one.
Listen, Renee Young could pay the bills now because she works at AEW too.
Paquette, botch.
Sorry, Paquette. Correct.
Yes, we're not WWE.
Anyway,
Anyway.
King, do you have any objection?
nope, I'm on the same boat. Hangman wins, and Mox is his vacation.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and I feel there's one certainty: John Moxley will bleed.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
yes.
No,
Now listen.
no.
I will say.
really need to-
Okay, since we brought it up, hold on. One quick thing, Moxley.
All right.
You are allowed a pass, and this is a generous pass because it's a death match, and both people should bleed. Okay.
I don't think necessarily because it's a death match you should expect. Well, I mean,
After this point,
Yeah,
listen. After this point, stop bleeding in regular one-on-one matches. It is very, and not because
Amen.
it's overplayed, which is part of the reason, but also you're bleeding a little too much, pal. I don't know if this is a healthy thing. Like, I get you're a hardcore guy at heart, but this is like that amount of blood lost every fucking week gets me scared. I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know about that you do.
he says all he drinks now is blood. So I mean, he's a different animal.
So
but,
what?
yeah,
He
even
could
an
just
animal
bleed
needs blood,
profusely, so he'll drink amounts of blood to then refuel his supply and be able to live.
but I don't know, man.
What is he, an immortal being?
All I know is John Moxley's head has to be tissue paper at this point. Of how many times he's bled from it? It's ridiculous.
Hold up.
So
Eric.
yeah, guys, John Moxley once again has to tell Renee, yeah, I'm not leaving yet. I'm not going on vacation with you, honey.
Well, I mean,
I gotta go to the
No.
collective on March
Dear
30th.
Lord.
I gotta go to GCW on March 30th and bleed.
Oh God.
So
To be fair,
GCW.
short vacay then.
well, yeah, sure, vacay probably, and number 1, number 2, that doesn't mean he's not going to lose against Heyman. still.
That's
Oh no,
true.
I know he's not going to lose against Heyman. I'm just saying he's going to continue bleeding.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
Yeah.
With that said,
GCW, you're going
GCW,
you're going
but
to
I'll allow it because it's
or
a
Josh
hardcore
Burnett's
environment.
Bloodsport.
Hardcore environment, that's fine. In normal one-on-ones, I'm talking about on AEW television, don't bleed. Stop bleeding.
When was the last?
Exactly.
Be honest. I'm trying to really think back here, so help me with this if you can, guys. When was the last time in a singles keyword singles?
MJF versus John Moxley at Full Gear.
Really? He didn't bleed at all during that?
Nope. Neither did he during
didn't.
All Out against Punk.
Yep, I remember that.
Bled.
He didn't bleed. Yeah, those are the two events he did not bleed on.
Yeah, didn't MJF bleed actually in that?
No, he didn't bleed that one. That was All Out 2020.
Okay.
The All Out we tend to forget due to
yeah, because of that one incident. Yeah.
Reasons. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, speaking of Hardys, apparently Jeff Hardy has now been suspended for 10 years of his license.
Yep, that's all he got for it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and probation.
Okay.
Reportedly, AEW has been like, okay, Jeff, it's time to talk about your return. Yeah, we're not here to talk about it. Goodbye. See ya.
Bye. See ya. We're all done here. That's what I gotta say about that.
I agree. I've been saying it. I've been the champion of it.
He's his own worst enemy.
Else.
He's his own worst enemy. He needs to stop. He's his own worst enemy.
I'm so glad everybody is saying it now too. Like and dude, I want to know what fucking moronic judge said this guy should only get that little of fucking punishment.
Smart Mark Sterling.
Probably. But, like, seriously, dude, this fucking guy has, in 3 different companies, potentially 3 anyway, for what we know for sure, too, illegally drove with a suspended license, renting cars to get from town to town. Right?
Yep.
And this guy did that while he was drunk on the fucking road. And you're telling me that this guy doesn't get more than what he got.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if it was Florida. It's disgusting. It never should have happened. And I say that because we literally as a community have lost a guy on the opposite end in Jay Briscoe for the same fucking reasons.
Yes.
And you're gonna bring this fucking pillhead back to the company?
Oh, they haven't talked to him about it.
When he is not to be fucking trusted. I hope they don't. I hope they fucking release him from his contract and never bring him back again and let him fucking retire without fanfare for a little bit.
So, this is what was reported from the courts.
That's a hot sub-tangent.
Jeff Hardy was sentenced to serve 38 days in prison. Now, you're probably wondering why he didn't. It's because the court is stupid and confusing. So they said, well, he was already credited with time already served, so he's instantly completed of his sentence.
Yep. They credited him 38 days of jail sentence.
So so you're good on that. They also weird. Apparently Jeff Hardy's lawyer also believed that they need to suppress the breath test results, arguing they are unreliable.
They're not.
They're not.
And even if they were, it doesn't matter because the issue wasn't the fact that he was
DUI.
It wasn't. Well, even it is DUI even then. But like the issue isn't even the fact that he's driving. He's driving with a suspended license under the influence. And even if the radar guns weren't authorized, there's video evidence of him drinking that night when he drove the car.
Double the alcohol limit.
Double the alcohol.
It's actually 3 times.
And even then,
3 times the triple.
If it's not accurate, who cares? He still fucking drank. Fucking lock him up. Seriously, or at the very fucking least, just say he can no longer fucking compete in the fucking ring and go to and find a way to get that to every state athletic commission that would agree to that. Because that's the problem. I've been saying that from the off. I said it on Jeff's show and Talk Wrestling when this incident happened. The issue is he goes in the ring, he takes these ridiculous bumps, and then he gets pilled and drugged up because he can't cope with the pain, and it's a vicious cycle that never fucking ends. That's the problem, and it's going to get some innocent fucking person on the road killed. Fuck that.
Yeah,
it's bigger than wrestling at that point. It's about a live hands possibly getting lost. And we're just going to be accepting of that when we literally lost one of our own for literally the same fucking reason. Fuck that. I'm not going to stand for it. Dude, I'll tell you right now, you think the fucking Elite thing was bad? That was petty compared to this. I'm fully stand by this. If Jeff Hardy fucking shows up on my television, ready? Click. I'm not going to give them the fucking privilege if they bring him the fuck back.
I honestly don't blame you. I really don't.
Me neither.
And I think I think you really want to make a statement, I think everybody else should do the same thing and follow suit. The problem is they won't because he's a bigger star than the Elite was, but I'd love to see the same energy for the Elite in Nielsen numbers. I'd love to see that applied to Jeff Hardy way fucking worse. But they won't probably. But I know I ain't going to contribute to that fucking problem.
Yeah, but they did say that for some reason, even though he was already suspended from it beforehand and was driving without it, his license has been suspended for 10 years, along with vehicle impoundment for 90 days, vehicle interlock device for 2 years. He's also been listed required DUI school or drug rehab program and community services. Oh, and he's been on probation for 24 months, and he's going to basically pay chump change for a $4,000 fine plus $586 in court costs after he had signed a written plea filed and pleaded no contest to all 3 charges.
Man, what a simple
there you have it.
What a simple Uber order could have done. Just saying.
You make things sound so simple, and yet you realize this is the world that we live in.
Common sense is illegal, man.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Look, when I say I'm simple because of this. I only watch wrestling. I don't get political. I don't get wrapped up in the bullshit that is the lack of maturity from the idiocracy known as the self-proclaimed internet wrestling community, or the dark side of it thereof, because not everybody is a degenerate lowlife without any sense of direction or moral compass. But I digress. Sorry, I almost went into another subtangent. But that being said, let's go ahead and wrap this. Holy hell, what a freaking return. Thing up with the AEW Championship match. 60-minute Iron Man as Master Jacob Freeman
MJF
against Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, MJF.
Short answer, we got MJF winning. Long-term answer, what happens during it? What comes after it?
That and the fact Bryan has repeatedly said, I don't really want the world title. I'm content just being a put-over guy.
And he says that after this year, I'm pretty sure he's going to stop being full-time, go part-time. He would be okay with
actually, he says he's still aiming to be. He said, this is what he said. He's aiming to at least get in the G1. He says he has a 33% chance of getting into the G1.
I feel like that's like the last thing he wants to do, just put a bow on his career. And I say let him do it. I think he should do it.
Danielson and then Okada final is the way to go, yeah. Or even a Danielson and Sabre Jr. final for the G1.
I mean, Zack Sabre Jr. James did call him. Zack Sabre Jr. called out Bryan Danielson on Ring of Honor last week, saying, Bryan, you're watching. I'm the best technical wrestler. So that match still could happen.
But you want to know what we should really predict for the main event?
Go ahead.
What?
Who will bleed most in the show? MJF, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, or Hangman Adam Page?
Ooh, that's Jon Moxley.
People who bleeds the most.
Jon Moxley.
It's Moxley.
Texas Death Match, Jon Moxley.
But you got to remember, Bryan said one of the reasons he left WWE is because he wants to bleed them buckets.
But he also wants to fight. He said himself also he had a job that would have paid him his whole life. He wasn't content with that. He wanted to fight.
This is very morbid the way we're saying this. I hope they don't bleed out. Like, can they not bleed out? Don't cut an artery, please. Don't pull a Dustin. Don't.
I'm about to say we're not.
Oh please, let's be real. If I really wanted to go morbid, I could just say Bryan Danielson something gets very horny over the sight of blood.
Gets very horny over getting chopped, apparently.
I suppose, yeah, there's that too. But it's one of those things where I'm like, look, blood should not be the factor.
Yeah.
But you damn sure don't need an overtime. There should be a definitive result, and we see who truly is the best professional wrestler, maybe the better, stronger, more hungry fighter out of this thing too. I think that's what this is going to come down to. This is going to be literally an endurance test.
Agreed.
And as far as what happens next, Double or Nothing, what was on that list? There was Jungle Boy, there was Warlow, there was Heyman and Page. You could mark Eddie Kingston out story-wise for the time being. That's really all I can figure about right now because of MJF at this point. Because they already did Ricky Starks when it's coming, so they're going to slow that down for now. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, his reign of tyranny is just getting started. His first pay-per-view defense of the Triple B, by the way.
Think about that for a second. Yeah.
MJF ain't losing.
No way.
MJF ain't losing.
Nope.
As far as Bryan Danielson, maybe he actually takes time away from here and goes to Ring of Honor for a bit.
Maybe.
That or he tries to finally convince Tony, hey, can I go to New Japan now?
But the G1's not till summer usually, and they still have to get through Sakura Genesis, of course, after the New Japan Cup.
I think if they do it, like his option there on should be he goes for Sabre Jr. for the television title, goes on the losing effort by some shenanigans, and then that's how you set up for their G1 final. Because I think a G1 final between Sabre Jr. and Danielson would be a hell of a final.
I agree, but I also think...
Or a semifinal, too.
But I say, let's also put this perspective, James. We know at some point this year, AEW is going over to London. Maybe they set it up then.
Maybe.
Either
way, time will tell. And right now, speaking of time, we have been going for 3 fucking hours. I think it's about time we
Okay. One last thing.
I feel like y'all's
if everything works out, and by the time they get to London, I still recommend this.
Go ahead.
Bryan Danielson and CM Punk versus Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr. in tag team action.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
Indeed, of a different variety and mentality, and see what unfolds between both duos. Take my freaking money.
Yeah, you know what? Good way to end it and go to the plugs. That was a great booking decision.
And let's keep the plug short and sweet, as you guys definitely brought this back with absolute craziness.
Brutality.
Of a different form, but yes, I would say that to be the least. And now we look forward to AEW Revolution. To those that tune into this, thank you so much. Before we conclude, James, plugs, go, my friend. Always a pleasure. Where can people find and connect with you?
Well, if you want to know all of my plugs, I'll only plug one thing like in full, but if you want to see the rest of the plugs, check out our AEW Rampage watch party that we did right before we got on the air here. That would be on my channel. All the plugs for all upcoming FTW content and more on the beginning promo and also on the Dynamite watch along that we did also. So if you want to know what's coming up, there it is. Or what's on demand, there it is. Upcoming for the Don DeMarco show, which is hosted by yourself and King. Even though we're probably going to do it after WrestleMania, because let's be honest, King, it's going to be a busy fucking month probably for both of us.
Lord help my freaking
Yes,
boy.
it is.
Tech 9 binge is on its way, including Dwayne Johnson, who featured on a Tech 9 song. So we're going to be doing all Tech 9 featured binge. If you remember that, King, I know we haven't talked in a bit, but that's because life is the way it is. But that's what's coming up for the Don DeMarco show. We already got it lined up, and we'll see you then for the Don DeMarco show. Otherwise, you can check out everything else on my channel. So there you go.
Fair enough. Eric, you still are the agent of chaos. Damn you. But also, God bless you and your family, because as a Christian man and as a simple man, I am taught to forgive. I also do not hold on to a grudge. And at the end of the day, you all need some sort of humor and happiness. I guess I'm that guy at the front of it all. And like a roast, it is what it is. But anyway, where can people find and connect with you?
NRE The Wrestleverse on YouTube, and Neo Reality Collective Pop Culture News and Reviews Talk on YouTube and Anchor.fm. I have the old Neo Reality Entertainment brand channel still up. I'm getting my gaming channel back online, Omni Gaming. that's about it for now. I do have other plans for this year, hopefully, but that depends on a variety of factors because I'm insane.
Insane in the membrane. But then
Insane in the brain!
Then again, aren't we all in a certain way? Why else would we be talking about professional wrestling for 3.5 God blessed hours?
Right.
In the middle of the night on the East Coast, per se.
Yeah, King. Where...
Oh, it's 2:48 here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, same.
That's
but then again, what is sleep? Still, AEW. One more thing. Put your damn pay-per-views on Saturday night. Why did you do Sunday night?
Yeah, right.
Why?
Well, I don't know why.
Because WWE took over the Saturday night.
Not really.
Pay-per-view format.
They still have free Saturday nights they could do.
I'm about to say, there's a reason why you're not
like
doing
Forbidden
WrestleMania
Door
on Friday
June 24, 2023. Oops, did I reveal the leak date?
Well, again, yeah, and whether or not it's in Tokyo Dome or in America, who's to say? But again, we have no official announcement, but Tony Khan will probably have more announcements. Stop using social media and these graphics of clickbait to tease such a big thing. Axe's show was cool, but people took the big announcement way out of proportion, Tony Khan.
I just remember that. Tony Khan said, expect more major announcements to be made.
Oh,
drugs!
Oh, no, I think it's a slow build of major announcements to be made.
I agree, but it's just people take things without context when you put big major announcement graphic on Twitter.
Yeah,
Just
it is
saying.
what it is. King, by the way, where can they find you on social media?
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
Y'all good. Twitter, follow me at AMT Roman numeral 23, number 23. Instagram, same thing, but the dot after the Roman numeral and then the 23.
That's the key thing, as always. And folks, you want to know more about me? I'm just going to simply tell you this. I am a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress.
By the shirt.
Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, Adam Foster 1916. Where at the end of the day, I only wish to encourage you to just enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. It's as simple as that. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in once again to the return of the ATW View Impromptu. Whether or not this means we'll be back for WrestleMania, that remains to be seen. And honestly, if I do that, it'll probably be the week before, because again, come WrestleMania week, there's going to be a video every night with my voice.
Actually, to be honest, if there is going to be a WrestleMania podcast, probably will be the Wrestling Rundown on Owen's channel, since he can live stream again. So if we want to do it, if we want to get together and add some more people to it, probably going to be WrestleMania after on the Rundown. So
Or who knows? It could just be multiple avenues, because at the end of the day, what wrestling YouTube is or what internet channel is not going to have some sort of content during or before WrestleMania week? Let's just put it out there.
Exactly.
Right.
So there you go.
But again, that remains to be seen. All we know is right now we look towards All Elite Wrestling and the pay-per-view cycle kickoff. We are all tired as hell, and I'll say it once, I'll say it again. How the hell, at the age of 31, am I still sober and able at this time to still stay awake? You all are freaking crazy. Damn it.
Yeah.
For the ATW crew, this has been the ATW View Impromptu. I'm Noah Foster, and I'm going to go GTS. I bid you all a fine adieu. Goodbye. Good night. Thank you once again for tuning in. We'll see you all next time.